Live. Okay, I'm still gonna take some time real quick. Nobody's watching at the moment. And I'm gonna edit the thumbnail on this thing. I thought I was live. Oh, here. I can't find it on my channel though. Oh, here it is. If you want to see chat, you'll have to open the. You'll have to be watching on like another stream. Just a heads up.
Oh, just open it up on YouTube.
Yeah, this is my first time doing this, so
That's fine.
I don't have everything set
Yeah,
up
I can just
nice
pop
yet.
out. I have 3 monitors. I'll just pop out chat and put it on one of them. I love chat. I love taunting them. It's actually my favorite part.
Here
So we get
go.
the we're getting the Barlow Marvin run back, right? And then we have
Yeah, I don't want to do Barlow and Marvin twice in a row.
yeah. Yeah. So we're getting the Sam Gavin match.
They're both City Rampage decks, I think. No, Sam's not on City Rampage. He's on Unfazed, but Mimic is on City Rampage.
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay, now I'm gonna go post this everywhere, and then we'll do an opening. What have you been up to today?
We did a bunch of spotlight testing and watched the stream.
Oh yeah, you gotta plug. You gotta plug that. You got a 3K coming up.
Yeah, next weekend, Southeast, Charleston. If you're in the area, come on down. It's at 10 a.m. at Trident Technical College. Hit up me or Jacob Masser, and we'll guide you. Yeah, should be a good time. I hear that the Omaha crew might be coming. Sean from Rochester CCG is coming down to sell some cards. It's going to be a blast. Josh and I put in like 4 hours of spotlight testing today. So
What was your takeaway? If you're allowed to
format's more
say.
fun than standard. Format's more fun than standard.
You think so? You think AOT2 just kind of like fixed it? Like, because we did AOT spotlight events at our locals and everybody stopped coming. Like, people weren't showing up for local qualifiers when they were spotlight. I had a lot of fun personally, but I think hitting Smiling, adding AOT2, I think that kind of solved it. And I wish more people were playing Attack on Titan Spotlight.
So I don't think I would. I don't think I would show up to locals if it was every week playing Spotlight. But as a change of pace, it's fun. It's at a power level that I think is pretty appropriate. Right, we played Bert, and I actually think I won multiple sets without ever actually flipping because
Mm-hmm.
I was playing into a different Titan character that was able to flip first, and they could keep me off of 9 once they flipped. But it was good. Emir is crazy in Spotlight, in case you didn't know.
That's yeah. Some Tam was mentioning is there's not like you don't have a lot of silver bullets in Spotlight. You don't have your referee jury, your barrier shield. Um,
Yeah.
so with no damage reduction for Ymir, and you have to be blocking everything. There's not a lot of defense in Spotlight.
Yeah, that's the thing we found is you have to be playing a lot of the bad cards because they just give -2 speed or whatever. Like you just have to put them in your deck.
Yeah, like hold the door or something, bar the door.
Yeah. I think there's a one diff that's like -2 speed and -3 if it's a weapon. I think everyone should be 4xing it if it's on their symbol, and that one might be Infinity
Mhm.
even. I don't remember.
Yeah, I was
It's
4xing that one as Hans. That's part of why like I really liked Hans in Spotlight because you actually get a little bit of defense.
I haven't gone back to Hans since AOT 1 when I played into Justin Birch when he first like grabbed that Smiling Titan deck and just bodied
Mm-hmm.
the hell out of me.
I think Hans could be pretty good. Like right now, like you get access to that thing that makes things unblockable. Well, you get like Besiege that they have to be playing around. You get the play fighting that they have to play around. Now you get back alley, not back alley. Attack
Attack
Titan's
Titan's
Haymaker.
Haymaker.
Yeah, you get Attack
Yeah.
Titan's Haymaker, and you can lead into all of that with the 2-check thing that says, hey, let me look at your hand. You can't use one of those. So you get access to all sorts of, you can't block my, you're just like not allowed to block the stuff. And I get a speed reset. I think it
Yeah.
could be real. If I was going to be playing though, I was actually looking at plane tickets and like travel costs to go play in y'all's 3K. Um, Ended up not being able to make it, but I probably would have played Hans or Reiner.
Rider 1 or 2.
Reiner won.
Mm.
Just play
I'm
this
split
this
between
list.
Reiner 2 and Emir.
Yeah, I could see Ymir being nuts. I think Reiner one could keep Ymir off of 9 foundations the whole time, since Ymir doesn't get new training method. Um, I'm not sure.
The big thing for me in the Titan mirrors for Emir is if they don't have the death symbol to get Colossus SWAT or some of the other ones that let them build mid turn, then Emir gets to go to 8 and then 9 and
Yeah,
transform first. Um, and then it doesn't matter what happens. But yes, if the other Titans can go to 9 via Colossus SWAT or something like that, flip on their turn and then start ruining and keep her off of 9 permanently, then she's whatever, she's fine. 2 damage is 2 damage, but
yeah. What are you using? So I guess it's Brief Respite really that unlocked Ymir and Spotlight, since you don't get access to Immortal Shapeshifter.
there's a few things. Moment of Peace is like flip a foundation +1 speed if it hits gain a life. So you've got that. You've got Brief Respite, and I'm blanking, but there's like one other. Oh, and you just get Uplifting Bond. That card is nuts.
Oh yeah, yeah. Brief Respite I think
Oh,
is
and
very.
Soup.
Oh, Soup. Yeah, and you get to build it in. Not Brief
Yep.
Respite. Moment of Peace. Moment of Peace I think is a very very underrated 3 diff, and like you said, there's not a lot of defense and there's not a lot of defense in Spotlight, so that's huge there too.
Yeah.
And they want to build
Yeah.
the
And,
deadlock to be able to block your 2 speed things.
yep. There's just a lot. AOT 2 added just enough to put all of the themes together. Um, without giving, I don't really care about Spotlight. I don't care about giving away the
Mm-hmm.
sauce, right? So, defeating the Colossus Titan lets Emir burn down 5 life, even if she's at full.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a game where I was at 23. I was at 8. Josh didn't attack me. He just built. I flipped, played defeating, cut 5, and killed him.
Yeah, Colossus Titan is like how I was cutting on fire using self
Yeah.
cut instead of being on the life symbol. Um, Getting that and paying the cost. I've got Gavin in the chat saying that it's Brief Respite and not
It's
Brief
respite.
Respite.
It's respite. Yeah. I was going to let you keep saying it wrong, but
There is no way. I have never read that card not say Brief Respite. It's Brief
it's respite.
Respite.
It's respite.
Oh, you're saying I'm pronouncing it wrong?
Yeah.
You say respite?
Respite.
I have never said respite in my life.
Yeah. Sam is here with me. Respite.
Most of my vocabulary though comes because I was constantly reading books. Um, Growing up, I would just constantly read like fantasy books, sci-fi books, and I would never take the time to look up words. So I'll constantly say words slightly wrong, or I'll say words like slightly out of context because my definition of words is only coming through context clues. I never actually, took the time. Respite. Huh. 30 years old and I've said respite my whole life.
It's not a common word. It's okay.
All right, so we got our top four here is Barlow on Mimic, Gavin on Mimic. The only Mimic not to make top four was my brother Patrick, who made sixth place. So still a pretty good showing. And
Oh no, he was 1xing the ultra compressed weights, right? Gavin is the one that had zero.
yeah, I think Patrick might have had zero. It might be in the sideboard. I don't know if he's mainboarding one and siding more, or if
Okay.
they're all in the side. And then we got Sam on Godzilla and Marvin on Pony. So in round one, we're gonna have a Mimic Pony match. Barlow, Marvin. Obviously, we just watched that on Tam stream. That was the round five matchup. So we're not gonna watch that one again. We'll see just who comes out of it. Does Barlow keep stay undefeated versus Marvin? Or does Marvin come back? Marvin was checking a ton of threes and several lethal slashes throughout that round. So maybe Marvin can come back. And then in 2 and 3, we have Gavin and Sam. It's going to be Mimic versus Godzilla. Mimic is kind of like Godzilla, with the flasks and all the DR reduction he gets. He's kind of like a 34 health six-hander, but that'll be our first round. It'll get started here in 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and Gavin and Sam, if you're watching this, and I can see you in the chat, so I know you're watching this, jump to your table so that I can get my table set up ready. Let's just jump to table 1.
They're playing in your Discord, right, David?
Yeah. And then just make sure you're muted and deafened.
Yep.
For the thing. Okay, this is where it all comes. I need to switch my scene while streaming. I've never done this before. And then I need to fix my view. All right. Okay. It just shows two things upside down. It's not going to be the sexiest setup here, okay? But it's going to work. I think I can get it to work. They're not going to be it's not going to be like Tam where we got, one's facing down, one's facing up, and he's putting up cards on the side, and you can see the chat. Okay, I'm not to Tam's level. I'm like a Charmander in the streaming world. But I'm at least going to get it to where it's shown.
Oh, I think you have to give me a special role because I don't have the tables they're playing at.
Oh, I got to give you the tournament role. Yeah. I'll go do that real quick.
Sorry.
Okay. Let's see. Have you said anything recently in one of these?
I talked
Discords?
in general. I talked in Let's Talk General pretty recently.
All right, there you are. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you the event staff role. Okay, now you should be able to see it.
Yep.
Okay, they've got their cameras set up. And here is where I do this. It's kind of working. There we go. Colby says, I'm so ready to get bodied next weekend, Zach.
Yep. He is kind of local to me. He's a few hours away.
Let me see if I can fix this. Well, no, those are their play mats. That's actually I think I got this right. All right, so this is not the absolutely nicest setup here, but it's pretty good. We can see their screens. I don't have them facing each other, but I found out it took me 30 minutes, but I found out how to rotate that, rotate the overlay on Ecamm. So, and by the way, I did not get it in time to find out how to like put our faces in nicely, so we are not being shown while we're
That's
commentating.
fine. They don't need
But
to, they don't need to see my face anyway. It's probably better that way.
I'll switch this back and forth. Now I can actually eat a sandwich if I wanted to. I could just mute my mic and and eat.
Hell yeah. I can drink my soda without anybody noticing.
We'll just hear the gulps.
Okay. So I haven't watched did you have Gavin on stream earlier? I was obviously testing, so I watched the stream, but I wasn't wholly
We jumped
invested in
in.
it.
We jumped in about 10 seconds before George died, and Gavin had a card pool that was Titan Cliff into City Rampage into Blue Flame Torment into Blue Flame Torment.
Okay.
And it looks like it looks like George transformed into Bert 2 and thought he was safe because Mimic didn't have he didn't have like the triggers in the battle arena, and so figures he's kind of safe. And then Gavin checks fives, does the City Rampage thing with the Torment. Nothing is, and it just goes, and George gets kind of surprise killed. But we really haven't seen a full game from Gavin yet. And we haven't seen a single game. No, we watched Sam for like 10 minutes, I think, in one of his games.
I'm really interested in Sam's deck because I'm a big Godzilla believer. But I'm gonna come back to Sam's. Gavin's deck is a 4x City Rampage Mimic deck, which is notably different than the other ones we've seen today, right?
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that? What do you have your brother's playing Mimic, not on 4x City Rampage?
Yeah, I was playing against Will Anderson. He made top cuts at the Atlanta regional. He's recently come on and joined our team, so we were testing the other night, and he was playing a City Rampage Mimic. I think it's a good idea. I like City Rampage in 7-handers more than I do 6-handers because you can bear the cost of the action. And Mimic is kind of like a pseudo 7-hander. You check the asset, you go and find an attack. City Rampage also gives you another potential check to check the asset so that you can find your best string starters. So I don't mind City Rampage and Mimic. I kind of like Patrick and Barlow's ideas of like playing a little more defensively. Using VME, using the vertical maneuvering, print momentum, get -3 speed to things, use a cape on something, damage reduce something with a flask. Patrick is using the Armored Titan Rush to take something to 0 damage. Like, there were ideas of like being a more control Mimic, and the City Rampage is not that. The City Rampage is, I'm just going to murder you.
Yeah. Back in the St. Louis format, so 6 months ago, right? Jacob was a big fan of City Rampage Mimic with things like the Gently Theft. Just, flashing, ripping your hand apart. Things like that. Yeah. So it's pretty interesting to see, this list. We've still got the defensive options. We've got the one cape. One trigger transformation was interesting to me. I really love the four Krakens. Mm-hmm. We got a good build out of Sam here, though, so we could see fireworks early.
Yeah, this Godzilla list is pretty good at snapping momentum. We saw the determined advance into unfazed line a couple of times where snap a momentum, used unfazed, and then if they block unfazed twice, it's like you have no cards in your card pool. Everything's getting +2 to the check, and you can just keep stringing out. Do you think unfazed? So Sam is unfazed has kind of like replaced City Rampage in this list. It's the way he plays lots of 5 diffs, and now that he doesn't have to play City Rampage anymore.
Yeah, so I was looking at Sam's list, and he has the one City Rampage, right? But
Hmm.
he's using a lot of other momentum generators to just get ways to hack his checks mid turn. He's got the Titans Pursuits, the Determined Advances, and all of that. The Unfazed, I think that's a crazy card. Um, I've been cooking a lot with this. Godzilla making it what a 4 high 10. That if they block it, you're just check hacking your whole turn.
Hmm.
It's not even attacks, right? It's just all of your checks, so your builds are even better.
I think we have a situation here where Sam said Gavin's frozen, but on our end they're both not frozen, and they're all good. So I think I think we're just taking a brief pause in the game right now to fix what other webcam issues there were. Let's see what Mimic does here. We got that alternate art, history's greatest monster. Just gonna
What do you think
allow
about
us.
those? Which one? Which alternate arts do you like more? Do you like these or the ones that came in the decks? In
I
the
like the
packs
ones
that
that
came in the
I like
decks.
the ones that came in the decks. I kind of wish they didn't pick history's greatest monster. I would have much rather had something that didn't have a super cool alt art be given a super cool alt art. Like I could probably come up with one better than okay. So they got ferocious attacker. They did the destroy something, the monster aggression, but I think they could have picked something else. How about you?
I also like the one from the collector's pack. Um, oh, we've got the classic. I don't know if this is a universal thing. I have never played a vast hybrid Chimera Kraken and not checked a 3 on it. It is a woo.
That's okay though, because it's like it's also doing the same thing to your rival.
What are we gonna commit here? Depending on how deep we're going, I think we're gonna hit the horrifying, the struggling. Okay, so Mimic thinks he's probably attacking a lot this turn.
Yeah, a 3 is not going to deter him. It seems like he did get to re-ready up the history's greatest monster. But what would you have hit? Would you have hit the horrifying
Oh,
rolling
he's got a
dice?
second. He's just got a second one, so he's gonna hit the horrifying now. But yeah, I
Yeah,
would have hit the. Obviously, I didn't know he had a second one, but I would have hit the horrifying if it was my
double.
only one.
Yeah, double Kraken on turn 2 is like it's really good defense because
Yeah,
now this build 5 from Sam, he's going to end up having 3 ready foundations. He's not really going to be able to crack back too hard. Um, yeah, this
we
is.
just we just milled 3 6 checks with our Knots Flask.
We could have murdered him if we kept those there.
Sam's just eating this one as well.
And the cape comes out too, just to further cement like you are not even going to deal damage to me on your turn.
All right, I've been a big Godzilla believer for the last little while. They might have me convinced to move to Mimic.
Yeah, what do you pick up here? Do you pick up the Kraken, a Walk the Dog, or a Torment? Goes for
Are
the
they open deck
Torment.
list? Do they know? Do they know what their
No,
opponents
no,
are
they don't
playing?
know. They don't know each other's lists.
Then I would probably pick up the best attack for my next turn
See, I would think
because
I want Kraken, but
I didn't see it. What did he end up picking up?
Torment, Torment. I guess that makes sense. Torment is going to be your string card. We saw it kill George. Um, yeah, we don't have a trigger in stage. I suppose it makes sense. We have um, we have Godzilla down to 20 health. Let's.
Torment also does negate a Godzilla check hack if that's a thing that we're enticed to do. We can block with it and then use it at response speed. If we really feel in danger, Godzilla could put out 25 pretty easily.
Yeah, I don't think so now after the double Kraken though. If he had like a strategic meeting and could immediately play unfazed, we might see a determined advance into an unfazed happen here because we can say +2 to our check, but then now we don't have the momentum to echo unfazed. Like,
Well, you got to think this is a determined advance, right? So we're snapping up momentum here. We're going to re-ready this Master's Pride. We can Godzilla here into something else. So this is a 6 mid 9 that
yeah,
requires some sort of answer.
some sort of answer probably just means that cape over there.
And
But I guess
that's fine.
you probably want to hold the cape for, especially after like you want him to like use that momentum first. You don't want to just like cape it and then they like build and just keep their momentum.
Yeah, so this is what I thought would happen when Gavin picked up the Blue Flame Torment. We are going to block with it. We're going to tell Godzilla, hey, if you want to keep going, I'm going to negate your character one time.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That Blue Flame Torment was the mid block out of those options that he was thinking through.
Yeah.
So, grab the mid block. You know that Godzilla's going to lead with determined advance almost every time.
What do you do if you're Sam? Are we going to keep going? He didn't Godzilla. Oh, we are. Oh, this is okay.
I think it's the right answer. I think he's got to get that cape out of the way or just punk. We can say +2 to our next check.
Oh, okay.
The other reason for the torment.
Yeah. Okay, so Mimic popped off the torment.
What now a cool defensive play. Once again, I forgot that torment is usable on defense.
Yeah, David, that's what I've been saying. That's the whole thing. That was my whole point.
I thought your whole point was that it was a mid block.
No!
Yeah, that card does kind of say Breaker 2 on it.
Yeah, we ejected that attack, right? Sam checked a 5 on it, and instead he discarded a card.
I have to think probably like Sam's hand is like mostly gas, or he could have just built. When he saw the Blue Flame Torment, he could have just built.
And he just has Gavin just has a second one, so Sam can't do anything here. He can't play another attack. He can't play a high difficulty foundation because Blue Flame Torment, I'm pretty sure, is just any check.
Yeah, you're allowed to fail it, but yeah,
sure,
it's out of the hand. Yeah, we are getting put in Blue Flame Torment jail.
All right, so this, if this isn't good,
we could have tormented that display, right?
I mean, we could have.
Oh,
I don't know that I would be giving up a Kraken in momentum here in exchange for a 1 diff. Maybe in exchange for the Incredible Display, but once we move past the Incredible Display, there's no shot I'd give it up for a 1 diff.
Yeah, I'd much rather do the display. Keep him on. I mean, he's got like 1 card in hand.
He's got 2 cards in hand. 2 based on the die, yeah.
I guess he's only gonna make.
He committed Godzilla, so he has a -3 speed. He's gonna pop off a singular block, maybe. But he didn't get the cape this turn or that turn, so
we are playing. Yeah, this is just Godzilla's even committed now, so we can't even use that momentum to pass our blocks. We're gonna get like 1 nice block off of Fast Friendship. Maybe if there's a slow attack, like a dangerous gambit. Well, there's not going to be a slow attack with the City Rampage. And he's not going to play dangerous gambit in a City Rampage deck. Yeah, I think we're blocking one move, and then we just hope he can't count to 20. And turns that start
Mimic,
City Rampage typically count to 20.
Mimic can always count to 20.
Yeah, we just checked the 7.
Especially with double soup Knots Flask, Mimic is counting to 50, right?
Yeah, and we're kind of like shoving Godzilla's cards in his face. Like, hey, this City Rampage card that has your character on it, we're using it better than you. This Determined Advance, we're using it better than you. We're just
Okay, well that one's a Rhino card. You can't blame that one on Godzilla.
I know, but it's like it's one of Godzilla's best cards. And we're showing that we just use it better.
Yeah, this one, like Sam's one defensive option is -3 speed. Doesn't work. We milled another 6-check. This deck has so many 6-checks. Every time we mill with Knots Flask, we just hit a 6-check.
If we want to, we can pour 3, 6, 11. We can pour 11 damage into this. This is going to be like 17 damage, and I don't think it's even going to be blockable. On a 1 mid block, you'd have to check a 6.
It'd be 18. It'd be 18 damage, right? Because it had +1 from City Rampage.
Oh yeah, +1 from City Rampage. Yeah, this could take Sam down to 2 life.
And he responded for a speed off of the easily excited, so it's 8 speed right now. Even if he uses the easily excited, he puts it back to 6. And yeah, with like you said, with a 1 mid block, he's gonna check us. The 1 mid block, he checks a 5.
There's almost a world in which you do use the fast friendship on that. You would have taken it down to 6, and you could have blocked.
Yeah, if you have a 1 mid block, you have to use the fast friendship.
Yeah.
What did it? Oh, does he have to give it 1/1 at blow up speed? Does he have a monster aggression that I just can't see?
No. I think most of his foundations are 6 checks. Feels like he's playing that Mirio one, that league interview. Maybe he does. Maybe he did have a monster aggression.
He just blew up something. He blew up the easily excited for 1/1. Okay, so whatever's under that league interview has to be monster aggression.
I love monster aggression.
Oh,
I love monster aggression with City Rampage too. Like and Amajiki, it just always felt crazy. I think this just wins it. We're gonna take down fast friendship. It's gonna be a 5-speed move. Yeah. I guess you could have a 1 high block. A 1 high block or you're dead.
Well, it's gonna be a 6-speed move because we're gonna use monster aggression on that committed one. Right.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So it's just 1 high block and you check a 6. Huh. Or maybe this Godzilla is also playing Gouging Needle.
I doubt that. I did try a Godzilla deck with Tasty Riff in it one time. You know, it was like a spicy move. It wasn't. It wasn't the move.
Yeah,
he does have a 1 high block. He does not check a 6.
So there we go. Mimic just out Godzilla. And they're playing like very, very similar chaos lists. They're both on the all 5 diff, 6 diff tribal packages. I was thinking about this. I was thinking like, what was the latest like big transformation in like competitive universes? And I think it's that all last year, the game seemed to be string as many 4 difficulty attacks as you can. 5 difficulty attacks stink, unless it's a back alley haymaker that actually builds you a foundation, so it's technically a 4 diff. The name of the game seemed to be just string 4s. String 4s and you win, and then have characters and foundations, like especially on the life symbol, had all these +1s that make those 4 diff stats awesome. And with the Godzilla Challenger decks, we even see like characters like Mimic or Amaji. Like all sorts of characters are playing 5 diff, 6 diff tribal. We got this 4 check tribal. Like the 4 difficulty string out a million is not like the way you play the game anymore.
No, and City Rampage has a little bit to do with it, but just the sheer text on the 5, 6, 7 diffs is a lot of that, right? Bill didn't make top cuts of this event, but he's got that all 6s and 4s Godzilla deck using Knockdown Blow to just play the 7 and 8 diff shift attacks for 15. Just whap, time to die.
Yeah, we're seeing so many cards like with check bonuses. Blue Flame Torment, helping checks. Smashing Stomp, helping checks. Walk the Dog is a fake 8 diff. We see on even on 4 check tribal, Knockdown Blow is giving like -3 difficulty. Like they're unfazed now. Like there's just so many things.
Godzilla as a character, just having +2 to checks. I know you've been on the take that card draw is free, so anything that has discard a card is not a real cost. But
most of the time, that's a benefit now with Feral Shriek.
Momentum is actually free. You just print momentum as desired in the format right now, especially on the chaos symbol.
Yeah, there's so many times when I'm playing Rampage on Majiki where it's like I've got a strategic meeting, the League of Villains one that grabs you anything you want from your discard pile. I've got a couple of those 1 diffs now, the Sasha 1 diffs, eating uninteresting habits.
That one is bad. Stop playing that one.
Oh, it's crazy.
No, it's not. Stop.
It's crazy in Amajiki. When I get the momentum, that's another enhance for Armor the Wolf. I can unflip the momentum. It's a 1 diff. It doesn't matter, though, because
you're once per gaming to unflip a blank card? Come on, David.
That's because we're winning on turn 2.
No, you're not. Don't lie to me.
Yes.
Okay. Hang on. We get back to the game. Sam just built my favorite card in his deck. Award the Victor is a crazy card. The last month or so, I have been on this card needs to get out of the format train. Where are you at with Award the Victor?
I don't think get out of the format. I just like that it's here. It's been very, very good for a long time, but just never seeing play. But its time has finally come. We have enough form draw functions with the Horrifying Realization, with Final Test, with characters like Burt 1. We have enough form draw speed to where it's legit.
Don't forget long range support, which no one played today that I saw on their deck lists.
Wait, you got double. We got double.
Yeah. This card, Award the Victor, has enabled an infinite combo and is now enabling Godzilla to play 6 and 7 diffs that can't fail. And that's crazy. That shouldn't happen.
Well, then don't take damage.
Okay, they're just 7 for 12s that can't have their damage reduced and have to be blocked by a 4 diff with a 5 mid block or something, We've just... Have you read the text on these cards lately?
Oh, no. Hold on. I just messed up everything.
What did you do?
I tried to fix... Hold on. All right, we're back. I tried to fix somebody asked in the chat what round it was, and I thought, I'll add this text, but I forgot I'm sharing my main screen, so when I took it... Anyway, everybody's enjoying my Excel spreadsheet flipped upside down.
Okay, Sam has led off with the Kraken, and he did not break the curse. He promptly checked a 3. He committed...
I think it's you being here. I think you brought the curse. This wasn't happening before you showed up.
He's committed a sin. He committed the best card in his deck. He committed Award the Victor. We're gonna
So,
keep going.
yeah, why would he
He
commit the.
believes. He just believes that there's a 5 on top of his deck now.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. Um, I guess that means the Smashing Stomp was probably the last one. I don't think Mimic can block it. The City Rampage Mimic. Oh, did I speak too soon?
He's
Or
gonna
are we just
grab.
going to check an asset? Was this just a. Surely
It's
not.
on a 4, 6, 7. He can commit the VME and Mimic, right? And then half block it, stuff card pools. And
Yeah,
then
that's
Sam
gonna
has to be
hurt.
done attacking.
And he's gonna
Sam
have a
gets
hard
him.
time building because he doesn't want to. You don't want to commit your Godzilla.
Yeah. I mean, with one momentum, like committing Godzilla is not the end of the world because you got to build. All right, we got to get these off.
Yeah, that hurt. That double hurts though because Gavin grabbed. Since he checked the asset, he grabbed Kraken. So this Kraken like just keeps coming
Yeah.
back, and it's gonna like the Gavin's list is not as defensive as Patrick and Barlow's were, but it's the Kraken is like defense.
Given what's ready here, I imagine that the Kraken is going to come down and hit this Titan's Pursuit, I believe is the 2 diff we built. Just try to keep Sam off of momentum.
That would make sense. You don't want to. What is your opinion on Unfazed? Do you think that card is cracked or?
I think it's crazy. Yeah, I'm a big believer. I have several decks on my Nats list that have it in it. Um,
I thought you were a
I
recovery girl.
No, I have you read the Chaos cards, man? I don't know what to tell you. I'm jamming 5 and 6 diff Chaos cards until they ban them.
That
I
seems to be the theme of this event, honestly.
uh, I love Recovery Girl, but then I realized that there are like 6 moves in the format that can't have their damage reduced. Um, I tried to Titan Injection a Determined Advanced and realized that I lost the game.
Whole time you're thinking you're safe. Yeah, this Kraken makes for a very, very good poke.
What are we picking up here? We're just I. If it was me, I think I'd just grab the Cheerful Uppercut again. Yep,
What he's grabbing.
he
Yeah,
grabbed the Cheerful.
it's that combination. It's the Kraken on offense, freezing your foundations, and then you get cheerful uppercutted on defense or hit with Blue Flame Torment and your check hacked. It's that combination that's really been. It's kind of surprising how potent it's been just in this round. At least it's surprising me. Like,
Yeah.
okay, this is something that like I haven't played against a Mimic doing this so much.
If we see Gavin pull this off over Godzilla, I think the looking at the deck lists on paper, the thing that I think is going to be the difference is I think Sam is trying to play the game fairly. He has built defense into his deck instead of just spending his entire deck telling your opponent they're going to die.
Yeah, and Gavin's getting to play defense with his cards that also kill you. Like Cape of No
Yeah.
Return is like the only thing of defense we've seen in this, and VME, I guess, vertical maneuvering equipment and Cape of No Return, and like Knott's Flask. But again, VME and Flask are also killing you. So this Mimic deck is like very like my cards that are good on offense are also doing something on defense.
Yeah, and Sam has dedicated slots in his offense deck to Runaway and Genkai's Guidance. He's got a Cape of No Return in the main, I think. Things that like aren't killing your opponent. They're trying to keep you alive. That could just be more city rampages, more ways to generate momentum, more they could be Knots Flasks to damage reduce, to offset some of these mimic things.
Yeah, when we were watching Sam in Swiss, the card that I thought was really unlocking some turns was strategic meeting. But I haven't seen a strategic meeting this round. So if that's not 4x, like that's a card that I think could be.
When I was looking at his deck list, I'm fairly confident. Let me go double check. I'm pretty sure it's a 1x.
Yeah, yeah. It felt like a totally different turn when he
Yeah,
started a turn with it.
Sam is 1xing the strategic meeting.
And here we got the cheerful uppercut block. Checks an uppercut.
And we
The
did
Kraken.
Godzilla. We did Godzilla, right? Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, we did. And the Kraken took down the Cape of No Return. So that's saying that like
Yep.
this is our time. We checked a 3 there
Oh,
that might be turn defining because I'm sure our plan is we're gonna get something through and then we can play this award the victor and push through because Mimic is only 20 health. That's not too hard for Godzilla to find.
yeah. We checked a 5 on an 8. We are going to grab a momentum, ready this Master's Pride. Okay, we got, what, 4 foundations ready. Our first advance is going to be Godzilla again. This makes sense.
Yeah, we're
Mimic is out of momentum for the VME, it looks like.
yeah, he still has his trigger response though, so he could it's as if he has 3 foundations ready. So 6. I mean, he could block something.
Sure, he may get a block off.
And he's got
I
minus 4 damage on. Well, I mean, not on. Well, he's got some damage reduction from Knott's Flask, minus 4.
Well, he can minus 2 this one, and
Yeah, yeah,
it's probably going to if he get the key to this turn is to be how many determined advances Sam has. Because if this one hits, we're going to pop this award the victor, and then our next check is going to have +4. If it's just another determined advance, and we have
we
to
don't.
commit 1 to it.
Yeah, and then we could use that momentum for our next thing too. If only we
Yeah,
had a way to draw the determined advance off the top right now.
yeah. Missing the horrifying here, not having it is rough.
What are the hardest hitting things in Godzilla's list? Commit
Yes, we're going
one.
to commit 1 to this. We get another momentum. I imagine our first enhance again is going to be use that momentum.
Yeah, I think we damage reduce this down to 6. No, no. I'm trying to math out what the right thing for Mimic to do is on this. Do you just take this 9?
I
If you
think so.
take Yeah, if you take the 9, you have to full block whatever comes next. If you damage reduce it, you could maybe half block what comes next.
What's life total? Is Mimic it?
13.
Oh, we do have a decent block for this. We're blocking on an 8. Oh,
Oh,
rough.
I think that's the difference. If we checked a 5 there,
Oh, 4. Yeah. Oh, but Sam didn't Godzilla here, so we're done, actually. We're not playing anything else on an 8 with only 3 ready. Yeah. Not Godzilla there is a big tell, in my opinion.
yeah, I think it was one away. But just getting Mimic down to 4, now we say, hey, you have to deal 28. Um,
Yeah.
Otherwise, I only have to make it through one thing. And if we start with the Kraken again, then that Cape of No Return just never happens.
We gotta find another Kraken.
Feels like every Chaos deck always has it.
God, I wish. Do we just check? We played a suit, checked a suit, and now we're going to get our Kraken? Or something else? Is, oh, Gavin's playing 2 Determined Advance. I would think Gavin would want to pick up Determined Advance here to snap a momentum to fuel this VME to allow him to play both sides with the VME.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I was in a chat with my locals. They're just about to start their local qualifier.
Oh, he just already had the Determined Advance. Okay. I'm a genius, but like he just already had it.
Man, Trigger. I'll be honest.
Trigger's a busted card.
If they ever wanted to hit Mimic, I would just hit Trigger. It feels like so many. Yeah, so many strings just go through Trigger.
It counting as 3 over the turn cycle is just nutty.
Yeah, it's like nice try, except even better. I never see anybody actually use the other thing it does. The like destroy a foundation, draw a card.
Does it remove itself?
Yeah, but I think it's effectively the same thing. Yeah, remove itself. Oh, ready a foundation and draw a card, I think is what it is.
Response remove, lose 2 health. After you play an ability on your character, draw a card and ready 1 foundation that has not been readied. Yeah, why would I ever do that?
To draw a card. I just never see anybody doing it.
Yeah, you have to get rid of your thing that is 3 foundations to draw a card and ready.
You have to be winning.
And it has to be ready. So, like, that's never happening.
Well, this turn did not start with the City Rampage. So Sam has that going for him. We do have an award the victor, though, so we're highly incentivized to block this.
It is a 9 low for 11. Oh, we're going to run away. The GOAT.
This one is a beefy one to take with Runaway, though. Taking 6.
It's at least a clean answer to it, and not like trying to damage reduce it or something.
Yeah, and with no Rampage, clogging the card pool is a really big deal here. Now, if Mimic wants to go on, they're going to have to start committing some real things. And you don't really want to commit your Verticals or your Cape or your Knots Flask. I think you have to build out now.
It didn't hit, so they don't get the award the victor. It didn't hit, they don't get a momentum for VME. Yeah, that was a perfect answer to one of the hardest to answer cards.
This is hard. Now you have to commit your soup and your award the victor probably. Oh, he doesn't have momentum, so he's going to take the vertical down. He's going to take award the victor.
That's crazy. Like, are we just saying this? We're just saying this isn't going to hit, or do we have another VME in hand? So we don't care if we commit this one.
Yeah, we're saying our next check gets 1, so it would be on an 8. This one kind of confuses me, honestly, because Godzilla still has the ability to block. This is really going to hurt our build. Are we really going to go into defense on 4 health against Godzilla and only have a cape?
And that's risky, because if Godzilla just draws the Kraken, the cape is not there.
Yeah. I think Mimic just recognizes that on 4 health, I just have to full send it, and I don't think there's any hope of killing Godzilla here.
Mimic's up a game, though, so...
Yeah. But I think this game is... I'm going to declare it. Put a fork in Mimic. This game is done.
Chat, you heard it here first. Mimic is winning this game.
We're moving to game 3. Speaking of which, I haven't even checked the football games today. Arizona State just destroyed Iowa State. Texas up on Georgia. Do you watch? Yeah? Are you a big college football fan?
So I stopped drinking a few years back, and
That made football less
My
entertaining.
It did, yeah. My my friend group was a big like crack a cold one, watch the games all day Saturday kind of group. And when I stopped associating with that group, I fell out of the football scene. I follow it. I watch the games, but I'm not a die-hard rah-rah college football.
Yeah. Is that about the time you started playing Universes?
Um, no, I've been a card gamer since I was like 7. I started playing Magic when I was a child. I started playing Universes around Libra of Souls.
I have no idea what date that is.
It's like pre-COVID.
Okay, it's like 2019.
Yeah. Okay, we got the good one. We got Unfazed.
Yeah, this game's over. This game, you have to cape this one though.
Yeah.
You have to spend it on it.
We get as Godzilla. I think we got a first enhanced check hack though, or no, we probably don't. Because if this one gets caped, yeah, okay. The card pool's clear. We just play another one. If it's another unfazed, the game is super over.
If, okay, good. I was gonna say if he just builds, I'm gonna scream.
Okay, how do you feel about this card versus Mimic? This card lets them make checks.
That is true.
The number of times I've asked Mimic to check a 6, and they check an asset and they go pick up an attack that kills me on my next turn is way too high.
I always forget just Mimic does that on defense. Yeah, they get to. Honestly, this whole thing, watching my brother and then watching Barlow and Gavin here at this event, it's kind of like, I wonder if we see a lot more Mimic at Nationals. People playing in that. There's a lot of different ways you can build Mimic, and I just wonder if this gives people the little nudge that they need to explore this character more, and if Nationals will be similar to this event where we see like 8 to 10 Mimics in the field.
See, okay, not only there's a second point to the check thing, but not only did he raw check a 6, it was also an asset. The other point to this card is they check a 5 and they can commit assets to pass it and then give it minus damage. I hate this card into Mimic.
And we just gave him the low block. He just picked up the Titan Cliff. So
yeah.
Either the Titan Cliff is I'm going to draw an extra 3 cards on my turn, or it's thank you very much. I didn't have a low block. Now I do have a low block. But I mean, he's probably not going to be blocking anyway.
We're damage reducing it with Knots Flask. So
I think our hope is basically the Chivalrous tells me that Sam might not have it.
We don't have it. Oh no, Sam, I believed in you.
I already put a fork in Mimic. He's not allowed to live.
Oh, he damage reduced it and just has the block. This is the most disrespect. Oh, he's just okay.
How did that -4 damage? Okay, it comes down again. I wonder if he ripped that from the Chivalrous competitor. He is the luckiest. He is the luckiest player alive. But this just should be curtains. I imagine the players are gonna scoot. I guess we haven't.
He has a 2 low block in hand.
And we haven't responded trigger. Yeah, so this is goes back to the trigger. So
this is still getting blocked.
5 with Titan Cliff. It's going to be on a 6/7. If we check a 3, we can respond trigger for 4. Commit everything else for 7. Oh yeah, this is for sure getting blocked. You're right. Trigger is a crazy card. It's like nice try, except an asset for Mimic. We checked the 3 and we're okay. Oh, 4, the other 5, 6, Torment 7. Comes in and the game's over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Blue Flame Torment. I wonder if he had another one or if that was it. And the 3 check dooms
Mimic. We'll
Mimic.
never know. Sam hides his hand. We'll never know.
Yeah, that's like Texas Hold'em. You know, you win a big pot. Do you show your cards or do you just Muck 'em.
Oh.
All right,
Sam has
Mimic.
his health on the bottom of his fold. Crazy.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
little confusing. I like that they're always putting the well, no, Mimic's not. The other problem is that Mimic is red on his phone. You always put the bad guy as red, and the bad guy is your rival. So they have the blue and the red swapped, which I think is making it very confusing. No, they actually have them the same. It's just that, yeah. I think that you should never put yourself as red. That's like admitting like you're the
Well,
Sith, you know?
The My Hero Calc app puts you as red, so
Oh, I see.
you could blame Shock 2K for that. You can take it up with him if you got a problem.
We played each other in Atlanta. Oh, I'm just getting word. Marvin has lost in top 4. Barlow is. They played again, and Barlow won once again. Barlow is on to the finals. Barlow is Marvin's only loss in the last 2 webcam events, but it happened twice in a row.
Hey, remember yesterday when I said I wanted 20 on Barlow at 12 to 1?
Yeah, that's why I was. Yeah, that's for friendly bets. Yeah. No, I had Barlow as an 8 to 1. He was one of my 8 to
No,
1
you
people.
had him in 12 to 1. You didn't believe, you were not a Barlow believer.
All right. Yeah. 12 to 1. He was still up there. It's better than 16 to 1.
Sure. Look, I'm
Barlow has
realistic. I'm not going to take the big underdog. I'm going to take the mid card underdog that I'm actually pretty sure was still just going to win.
I feel like Barlow tops every event he plays in, no matter what, but he's never like taken down a big event. I can't think of any like major things where Barlow has actually ended up the winner. So this is like his chance. He could be the one to walk away with $750. Not a bad event to take down and be the webcam world champion for 2024.
That'd be nice for him. The first match I ever played against Barlow, the first time I'd ever met him, was a heartbreaker for him. So I'm really, really glad to see him continuing to do well.
Did you play him at like Nats and you took him out in top 32 last
Oh,
year?
Did you not hear about it?
No, because we played each other in Swiss at nationals. We were just doing it for fun because we were both 6-0, and so we just intentionally tied, and then we played each other for fun. But then I know he lost in top 32.
Yeah. He was Amajiki versus Mineta 2 in top 32. And I had never won that match except for the one time I played Barlow.
So you are the reason he didn't get to the Worlds last year.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not sure we can have you commentate his round. You're going to jinx him. Yeah.
No, we're cool. Me and Barlow are boys. Yeah, it was a good time, and we play a lot. We play a lot of pickup games before regionals. We played. Mimic had a 3 asset build, 1 foundation. Interesting.
Yeah, the double soups. The soup is really crazy. Just getting to be able to pass your checks on turn 1.
The card is just all
Easier.
around nutso. By the way, I don't. Why does that say your attack gets 1 damage, gain a life? We just. On defense, I just get to gain a life? That's fair. Why not?
Yeah, now he's he's gonna build another soup. So between the soups and the flask, that's plus 14 damage on something.
Oh, look, we checked an asset. We're getting a Kraken.
Yeah, the Kraken comes in. Mimic gets to play one of his best answers.
We are going to check a 3 on it, though. So, oh, never mind. We're going to play a City Rampage. It doesn't matter anymore.
We can't check 3s. We only check 5s. And he's not even starting with the. I guess the only thing that is like fast friendship, but fast friendship's nothing to take down.
Well, Fast Friendship can't interact with this card anyway, so It
That's
doesn't
true.
matter.
That's true. Yeah. This is going to be 6 speed or 7 speed. You can waste the fast friendship on it if you want, but that won't
Yeah, and
happen.
if you waste the fast friendship on it, you just hit one of the card draw cards.
Do you think right now, at least this game has felt this way? This game has felt like whoever's going first has a massive advantage over the other one. Do you think that turn one player advantage is too high right now in the game?
In the Chaos Mirrors, it is for sure. I don't know that that's true in every game, in every match, but when your decks are very similar like this, it definitely is.
Yeah, it feels like a race to the Kraken.
I mean, it's a race to the good ones, right? And
Mm-hmm.
in the Chaos Mirror, it's Kraken, it's Determined Advance. Is Sam really thinking about? Oh, he EX'd it, so he is gonna get to pop off the fast friendship. Oh, runaway, nice,
Oh my god.
love that.
I'm I'm not sure how much I love it because we're still taking 6. I guess all these are pretty big base damage moves. Like the Kraken is 6-2, and we know it's the follow up. But with the City Rampage, it doesn't feel like it's really gonna stop Mimic all too much. I guess we get one more attack, so we're deciding between can we play something
I
like
mean,
a Smashing Stomp that lets us pass another, or should we just go ahead and play the Kraken?
is there a base 5 damage move in the Mimic deck?
Oh, you raw check to 6. Yeah, I guess Blue Flame Torment.
Okay,
I think that's it.
sure. You're not really gonna get a better runaway target for the most part, and better than letting it rot in your hand. Just stuff the card pool, try to shut this City Rampage turn down. You effectively got a City Rampage turn where Mimic did not get a momentum, and you took 6 damage. That's a win in my book.
Well, he got a momentum, but where did it go again?
He EX'd the
Oh,
he
he
EX'd the
EX'd it, and it
attack.
didn't even matter. Yeah, that turn, had he known there was a runaway, it would have been a better decision to play the Kraken, freeze the
Okay,
foundation, and build.
yeah. Okay, this is a 1X in Sam's deck, so we have not seen it until now. This is Armored Titan Rush. What do you think of this card?
I love Armored Titan Rush. I was before I decided to take a break from content until Nationals. I was making my top 10 cards in Attack on Titan 2, and Armored Titan Rush was in my top 10. I love it. It demands that you block with an attack. You can't reduce the damage below 9. And then it flips to negate an attack. So it's similar to Kraken, where it's offense and it's defense. You had to block with an attack, and I'm going to waste your attack.
Yeah. We did on Friends and Rivals, we did a little bit of a market watch a week or so ago, and I mentioned an ultra rare from Attack on Titan 2 that I thought was the next one to spike, and I think it's this one. This is a card people should be watching. This card is nuts. We see it here. Mimic failed this block. It did half of Mimic's life. Mimic
And
just
we
took 12.
and they had to attempt to block with a attack. So
Yes, he
we just
lost
got
to
to walk
walk the
the
dog.
dog out.
He lost to walk the dog. He took half his life.
And now the Kraken comes in. We can freeze award the victor. That's going to feel incredible. We can get rid of the Knots Flask. This one's going to feel good, even if it is ultimately blocked.
And the Armored Titan Rush, if we decide to take it as a foundation, because it did hit, so Sam might decide the momentum is more important, but if he takes it as a foundation, we get to blank one of Mimic's attacks. It isn't Determined Advance.
Yeah, and that really puts Mimic no better than last turn. You know, he built a trigger, built an award the victor, built something else, but he's not really going to be in a better spot, and he lost his attacks. So he's lost 2 attacks in his hand. He gets to go grab one. That's nice. We check the asset. but it's not going to feel like a much better position than it was last turn. I think Armored Titan Rush is very cool. The problem is that it's like really fighting for spots. So like if you put Armored Titan Rush like Patrick was playing in your Mimic deck, what are you taking out? Are you taking out Kraken? Are you taking out Determined Advance? Are you taking out Dangerous Gambit? It's really fighting with some other very strong cards.
Yeah, I haven't looked at Mimic, right? I've been like I said, I've been a big Godzilla believer. And I'm playing it in Godzilla. And feels really unfair there. Okay, we've got the strategic meeting now, right? That's what that 3-diff is? Yeah. So next turn, Godzilla's going to have a momentum to start his string off with.
Yeah, just getting the momentum to where you can start with the unfazed, I think is a big deal.
Well, and we've got 2 fearsomes, right? And they're committed, so they can't get frozen with Kraken. So unless Gavin hits this strategic, then Godzilla's an 8-hander. We snap our momentum, we play our attack, we immediately draw 2 cards.
Starts to advance. Ouch. Ouch, ouch. So that's going to take the trigger and the response.
If you're a Sam fan, that is what you wanted to see. If you're a Gavin fan, rough look.
I was just saying earlier, turn 1 feels such like, going first is such. I think Sam just flipped it. If I'm looking at this game right now, I'd have to give Sam the 70% chance at taking this game down.
You got the sports bar, like the
yeah, if you're watching the needle chance. Move. Yeah. It's 70%. It's moving very quickly up in Sam's direction.
And the more resources that Gavin puts into this one, the less moves we can play, right? Because these soups are our only way to pass checks now.
Yeah, and that takes away his ability to add damage. We can't use the Reiner's toughness on this, so
we can put it to 6.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's 5. That's not nothing, but we're probably also not going to.
Oh, we have another one. Sam is just the greatest. I don't.
But this is the benefit, right? Like typically, a Godzilla's playing. We see a lot of Godzilla's playing City Rampage, but he's saying unfazed is going to do enough, or things like that, and I'm going to take those City Rampage slots and put in defense instead, like the Runaway.
Yeah, you can do Runaways in your sideboard.
Yeah.
You figure out defense and you need it.
We've seen those putting in a lot of work, though. I think everybody was putting those in for Bertolt, too, but they ended up being really good against the Mikasa and the Pony lists. Like Marvin was in the chat saying Barlow's the only answer to Pony. A lot of it was Barlow's build, was getting the cheer. And it's Barlow's build's kind of similar to, even though they're on very different like styles, they're both doing the cheerful uppercut, and the Runaways come in big, and against these Pony and the 7-handers and Bert, the Runaways, the cheerful uppercut, the Torment. We see the ultra compressed weights, just putting in a lot of work. A very smart decision. These are cards that, like ultra compressed weights, typically a pretty bad card, but in universes there's no truly. Well, lately there has been, but normally there's no truly bad cards. Like the good players know when to put them in, when to make the right meta call.
Hey, even the bad ones, those are going in my spotlight decks.
Yeah, they have a place.
Those blank 1/5s that have a 2 high block, those are in my decks, man. I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes you got to have a high block.
And this is not like we didn't get like a super good build as Mimic. We got some takoyakis out there, but
takoyakis are good. This is -2 damage draw a card.
Yeah. But we're not blocking that much. We don't have a VME with momentum. We don't have a cape. I kind of get the sense that this is the turn Sam goes to the finals.
Sam did not Godzilla here though.
Well,
So he's
Smashing
gonna
Stomp says +1.
Yeah, so he's gonna be waiting till later in the turn. Gavin immediately checked a asset, so he's got double um cheerful now because he picked up a cheerful at the end of last turn, right?
He did. He did. Double cheerful is good. Maybe not this turn.
And I think Gavin actually took one more damage there than he was supposed to, but we are not the judges, so it'll be okay.
Yeah, but now he's saying, if you cheerful me, you're now giving +1 to my checks.
Oh no, Sam is just gonna cancel the cheerful with the incredible display.
That's a good choice too. I wonder if he gets it. He's definitely going to have to echo this, so he can't use the momentum as Godzilla. He'll get +1 to his check in all likelihood, which means it'll be, I don't know, maybe you don't block this as Mimic just so he doesn't get +1 to his check. Well, no,
If
because these cheerfuls
you
are half blocks. You have to block it. You have to half block it. And I think it's going to come down to does Sam check a 5.
no, if you don't block this one, you are dead.
Yeah.
And he didn't block it. I don't know
Is he
what's
not going to echo? He's not echoing?
No, I think he wants to save the momentum for.
On an 8?
Oh, Sam.
He would have passed it if he echoed.
He would have committed his whole stage though.
Yeah, but it would have been 10 damage if Mimic half block. Oh, I guess Mimic has damage reduction. Oh, because the Determined Advance has the EX3.
Yeah.
And that
The
just
determined
ships
advance
it.
was unblockable if he checked a 5.
Yeah, so yeah, Sam made the right call. It's not like, yes,
Sam's
Gavin
in a
can
good
go
spot.
on a, but Gavin can go on a crazy string here, a City Rampage into a Titan Cliff and rework his whole hand. We know he's sitting on double cheerful. All we have is we're going to get one block, maybe 2 blocks, and
If
Reiner's
Gavin
toughness,
doesn't
one thing.
If Gavin doesn't pick up the Kraken here, he's crazy.
Goes for the walk the dog for the
Okay.
6.
Caveat,
is,
might already have a Kraken.
Yeah, just to take down the Reiner's toughness.
He's got to hit this Rider's toughness at some point, right? We can't let the turn continue and then just get LOL'd, setting your move to 0.
Yeah, I think he has so much extra damage though coming back. He gets like 14 damage from the soups and flasks, even more damage from the takoyakis. Like the Mimic just has such a high amount of damage. I think it's going to be a very hard turn to live as Godzilla. I think that 3 check might have been a $200 3 check because that's the difference between 300 and 500.
Sam has 5 cards in hand. What happens when Sam uses this fast friendship, -3 speeds, pops off a block, Godzilla momentum, pops off a block, Godzilla momentum, pops off a block, has Reiner's toughness as a foundation, and Gavin is 4 attacks deep, now has to use all these soups to get it lethal, and he still has Reiner's toughness up. And says, okay, you've made it lethal, pop Reiner's toughness, your hits.
Yeah, I agree with you. You should have grabbed Kraken. Maybe the thinking on grabbing Walk the Dog is I don't have enough attacks in hand and I need to go find something.
Sure.
But yeah, the
if
Kraken
he already has a Kraken though, then like he just keeps checking 6s. This is crazy.
Well, that's the deck. I think it's like 25% 6 checks. I guess we know he has the cheerful uppercuts in hand. So
he did review one of them.
Oh, that's. Would you
He
review
has
the uppercut?
Yeah, he has no momentum. Uppercut's a 5 diff, 5 low for 4. It's your worst move.
That's a card that hadn't seen major competitive play in a good while.
It's
I
always
felt
been like right there on the edge, right? It's when defense is good on the chaos symbol, it sees play. But the chaos, those symbols just haven't been about defense in a little while.
yeah, and all this print momentum gets it online more. Like you were saying earlier, momentum is like literally free right now. So if momentum is free, then it gets an extra 4 damage, which is not nothing. So here's Sam takes one. He's down to 12. We get to stack it. We don't have a way to form draw. And
Oh,
I think Sam's dead.
yeah.
I
We
don't
did
see
God,
Mimic.
so we did Godzilla during that one. So we have +2 to our next block. We didn't try to block that one. So we could stack that up and have +4 to this block if we have a low block that we want to use. Um, or we can take this one, block the next one. Yeah. So we're gonna have +4 to whatever block we want to pop off. We are going to get. The question is just how many attacks does Mimic have?
I think he's got a whole fist of them. We know he still has to walk the dog. We know he still has one uppercut. We know there's 2 more. Mimic just does feel kind of bad for Godzilla that he just never gets to press the board wipe button. It completely takes off that form.
I don't know that you would want to though, right? Because you just leave Mimic with all his resources and you take away all of yours.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is that Mimic's a bad matchup
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Godzilla because it just wipes away that ability.
I think if you're playing a significantly more aggressive Godzilla, where you're just like attempting to put them to 2 on turn 2, and then just figure out how to clean them up on any turn later, then it can be okay. Um, but Sam is not playing quite that aggressively, so yeah, Mimic just is getting to establish a board state, getting to pressure. He's got a lot of low attacks, putting a lot of pressure on the block zones. We have +4 to this shit. We checked a 9 and we're still committing something. What in the world block zone is this?
I'm going to put an event in the chat, in the YouTube chat. Sam, who you can see playing here, has a YouTube channel called Ace Maneuvers, and he's hosting his own webcam event January 4th. I'm very, very excited because I can't play in my webcam circuit events, and I can play in Sam's webcam event. So I will be playing in that one, and the pricing gets better the more people sign up. So everybody listening to this, go sign up. Go sign up for Sam's event. I'm putting it in the chat. It's called Webcam Warriors. So here we see the uppercut. We know he's got to walk the dog, saving it for the finisher. Sam is down to 7, so he just has to.
Yeah, this is now lethal.
Yeah, we have to block both. We're gonna have to use a Reiner's toughness and then get one block off.
So we Rider's toughness and then the other soup plus the Knots flask is going to be lethal, right?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much over. I think that 3 check costs Sam a finals appearance. But you got to play to your outs. Okay, so what he could the runaway. I was just about to say that he could, if he checks a 5, he could do both Reiner's toughness and runaway. Which now that walk the dog The
He is
problem
still
is,
lethal,
though,
though.
it's still going to be lethal because all he has to do is commit an asset and it gets right back.
Yeah.
We have to hope. Is there any chance that this fails on an 8?
If he
Checks
checked a 3, then he has to commit.
Yeah, he would
Yeah,
have to
checking a
commit
5.
mimic. Yeah, I
Checking a
think that.
5 makes it not matter. So I think if he
Yeah,
checked a 3, Sam might have been able to live. But
and he
yeah,
gets to
walking on
say stun
has
1.
stun one, so none of this matters. Yeah, that is going to do it. Gavin is going to pull it out.
So there you go. Gavin taking it down in top 4. Let me switch our screen here to where we're on camera again. Gavin takes it down in top 4. We are going to have an all mimic finals, which is pretty funny because when I interviewed my brother, you can catch I interviewed almost every single player playing in this event today. I interviewed them all and I posted them to my YouTube channel. I interviewed 13 out of the 16, and then Sam and I did a video on his channel where we did the same interview. So 14 out of the 16. When I interviewed my brother Patrick, I said, who do you think is going to win the event? And who are you playing? He said, I'm playing Mimic, and I think a Mimic that's not me is going to win. and he's right. We're going to have both other Mimics dueling it out. Mimic on Mimic. Is there anything weird about this mirror matchup? Have you ever seen this mirror matchup before?
I'm sure at some point I've watched a Mimic Mirror, but let's take a look at the deck list, right? We have access to them. We just watched Gavin, so we've seen he's got like 1 Award the Victor, 4 City Rampage, 1 Cape. He's got the 4 triggers, 4 Knots Flasks. He's got all the 6 checks. He's got 2 Determined Advance, 3 Walk the Dogs. He's got a Heat Ray, so he could potentially turn off any stage interaction that Barlow does build. Barlow's got 3 Determined Advance. So Barlow's on more of like a 4 diff package, obviously, because he doesn't have City Rampage at all.
Yeah.
And Barlow's got this USS Chiritos. Do you know what this card does? I've
Yeah.
not committed this one to memory yet.
It's pretty cool because you can use soup. Since you build down soup on turn 1, you can actually pass how did you say it, the ship name?
I said Chiritos, but I think it's Ceratos, actually. I'm not.
No, when I said Ceratos, Tam said you didn't watch the show. That's not how you say it.
I have not watched the show.
Okay. All right. Well, the ship. I'll just call it the ship. You can play soup, build down the soup, and now you can pass the ship on turn 1 and build it down. And it's very, very powerful. You get to like look at the top X cards of your deck and draw one or something like that. Yeah, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 of them to your hand, add 1 to the bottom, add 1 to the top. So it's a 6 difficulty 4 check asset. It's not playable in very many situations, but in Mimic with soup it is.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so I'm looking at the deck list. I'm going to make a call here. Barlow's deck is spicy. Here's what the difference is going to be. Barlow has 2 Vast Hybrid Chimera Krakens in the sideboard. Gavin's are in the main, and I think that's going to be the difference in this match.
How many is Gavin on?
Double
4?
checking. I believe he's on 4x in the main. Barlow has 0 in the main, as far as I can tell. Unless I'm just overlooking them. Yeah, I've looked.
That could be a huge difference here.
I've scrolled through the list several times and I'm just not seeing him. So looks like Barlow's on 0. He has 2 in the side. You know, the ability, Gavin having the ability to commit Barlow's capes, commit triggers, commit VMEs, commit Knots Flasks, what have you. I think it's going to make a gigantic difference in this matchup.
Sorry, I'm answering some things from Peyton and Sam messages here, so I'm kind of.
Oh, you're good. I'm looking at deck lists and Thinking about what we're gonna do. Barlow's got this spicy. I think Barlow's a big blue flame surge believer. How do you feel about this card? You know what that one does? It's the 3 diff Dobby card that like Omni blocks a thing with a keyword trait or a keyword ability.
Which one? The Blue Flame Surge? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I love Blue Flame Surge. Who's playing it?
Barlow has one main and one side.
I normally love it. Um, I don't know. It's fighting with so many things for spots. Like I originally had it in my Rampage on Majiki list, a 1x of it, and of course I love it in Rodan. But I feel like in Mimic, I'm not sure about it. I don't think I'm a fan in Mimic. He's just
Okay.
playing. The Mimics are playing low. The Mimics are playing low attack ratios.
I think that's why I don't like Mimic. I think I like to draw 6 attacks and kill my opponent. I don't want to rely on this like gamble that I check a asset when I need to and get my attack out of my discard pile. Um, I just want to do the thing. I don't. The randomness doesn't do it for me. Which is usually
Yeah.
classically why I've never been a chaos gamer, but they've turned chaos into the check hack symbol. So, now it's the
Mm.
spike symbol instead of the Timmy symbol.
Oh well, I think we're gonna go. We are gonna jump straight into it. Let's see. Oh, here
I
they
love
are.
that.
They're at table one. They're at table one. All looks like they got their webcams going, and I'll ship us over to that scene. And the finals of the Let's Talk UVS X Tam Cardwell Webcam Circuit Championship starts now. In the left corner, we have. Oh man, I have to adjust their names, and then it's gonna make me. You know what? I'm just gonna delete their names. We're just going blank. It's Barlow on the left hand side, and it is Gavin on the right hand. I guess I could have kept Gavin's. I could have kept Gavin's up, but
Barlow
we
is
are.
officially the other guy. I'm glad Barlow's new place does not have him playing with the brightest light imaginable. We can see his cards now. His old place had the worst glare of all time.
Mhm.
Barlow was the 1 seed, right? So he's getting to go first. Be probably a big advantage. But again, I think the Krakens are going to decide this match.
Yeah, this is where playing that. Well, Barlow. I think it would have been first even if they intentionally ID'd with Marvin, but still, he's 6-0 so far today. We'll see if Gavin can overcome. Both of these players, like Gavin, got second in a webcam provisional last year with all Eraserhead 2. Um, he lost to Jose's Toga 1 in the finals, and
We don't talk
Barlow's been yeah, and Barlow's been a consistent name in top cuts, but also hasn't had his day in the sun. So this is two players like looking for like their moment,
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah, this series has been really good for showing off players who are always in that like top 32, top 16, never quite winning the event, showing that they do have the chops to get it done. It's a good build out of both of these players. It's so weird. Usually, when you build the green ones, it's not a build 5, but it's Mimic. So build 5 and build 4.
Yeah, it's pretty equal. We're going to start out with the determined advance. We're safe to do that because of the trigger. So even a 3 check there would not have been the end of the world.
How often do you skip your opponent's responses on accident and just try to grab your momentum off determined advance? Because it's like a lot for me.
Not too often for me. I'm pretty good at remembering to ask for responses, but I'm really bad at after my blitz, I just sit there and look at my opponent, and then they look at me, and then about 10 seconds goes by, and they say, "What's your first enhance?" Then I remember, oh, wait a second. Yeah, that's right. I get first enhance.
I've gotten a lot better about first enhance because I've been playing a lot of Attack Titans Haymaker, so I go Blitz Stun 2.
Yeah. Yeah, blitz, and then you get to do the first enhance. Does feel pretty solid. I want them to bring enhances back to attacks, but that does not seem to be the plan anytime soon.
Late 2025, early 2026, maybe, depending on Bill Stark's mood, you know?
Yeah, how far ahead they're currently designing? Are they in set? Are they already in 2027 or 2028?
No, there's no way they're that far ahead, but. So we get this ultra compressed weights. I don't think this one does anything in this match other than commit to pass a check.
Yeah, we're not too worried about clearing the card pool in Mimic.
We could. Ultra compressed weights are old attack if the opposing mimic builds a cape so that they can't cape it.
That would be a cool interaction. I mean, that's kind of like what George was doing with his Mothra list that made it to top 8 at Atlanta. He was using that, like locking the building, but he was using it on his 13 div so that you can't cape it.
I looked out and pet my dog for a second. Is Gavin just building out here? Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. So we got a trigger, pass through walls. Pass through walls feels really good in this mirror match, right? We just get to selectively cancel one of our opponent's things once. Barlow goes to use his check hack for Battle Arena, and Gavin just gets to say no.
He starts with his own soup. Nice thing is, like, we could even go Dangerous Gambit here and then just build 2 straight assets. Oh, Rapid Speed Slash. Interesting. We do, these mimics do, like, print momentum. Especially Barlow. Barlow's mimic list, definitely. I mean, with the Gold Tips Imperial, with the Battle Arena, very, very efficient. And the Determined Advance, very efficient at printing momentum.
Do you think he's going to take the card or the momentum?
He does not have a VME in stage. I think he'll take the card. A VME, maybe you take the momentum.
I always take the card. I go a long way to draw one card. So we popped off. Gavin, I was saying Mimic. Gavin popped off a block with this Gold Tips Imperial. Full block builds it down.
The VME. You never know if this is the end of the turn or if it's just a gambit. He does check the asset, so he is getting pause game for a little bit. What is he going to grab? He could just grab a gambit, build it, and keep going.
Do you have any concerns about Mimic players making it through Swiss? Like, with how often they just have to stop and look through their discard pile?
Oh, just the speed of play?
Yeah.
I'm not too concerned. They're pretty, Mimics are pretty good at slamming damage on things. And then games right now feel like they are ending on turn 3 a lot.
That's always my worry with decks like these, where if like new players decide to pick up the deck, that they just go to time.
Oh yeah, that could happen. I mean, in that case though, I feel bad for the person playing the new player playing Mimic, as they constantly search through the discard pile, and you're trying to make this very complex like game deciding decision. Like here we see Shocking Entrance, a very interesting one. So now we can go pick up an asset of our choosing with Shocking Entrance. It's not going to get the 2 speed. It's going to be a very, very slow attack. So it's kind of a abnormal one to pick up with Mimic.
It looks like Barlow has dice here indicating that it has 2 speed, though. Do we know what that's from? Oh, easily excited. Okay. I see him. He has them upside down. Yeah, the reason I ask is like I'm a big Ghidorah player, and I know even like in Ghidorah, just once per turn cycle, having to look through your discard pile slowed the games down a lot. Recovery Girl looks through her discard pile a lot. That slows things down. Just feels like all of these decks that take a peek through the discard pile always are the ones that go to time. Okay, so Gavin is popping off he's popped off 2 of these takoyakis to negate most of this damage, draw some cards, trade a decent amount of resources for that. First blood goes to Barlow, it looks like.
That double VME is going to be nasty. VME, it's such a utility card for Mimic. I can commit it for 4 damage. I can give things 3 speed. I can give your things -3 speed and change the zone. It's just, I'm not surprised that he specifically went after the Shocking Entrance to get a second VME.
Yeah, double VME. You got 3 momentum because you got an extra one off the battle arena in his stage. Barlow's got a good looking stage here. Check passing power is still okay, so we got the trigger, got 3 foundations. We can block everything, basically, that we need to. Except maybe a determined advance, because that one's still going to be fast as hell, but...
And we don't even have to commit anything, because we have History's Greatest Monster that's just going to ready itself right back up.
I love History's Greatest Monster so much.
What are you building here?
Pass-through walls.
That makes a lot of sense.
I'm canceling VME.
He already has a pass-through walls, though, I think.
I'll cancel both of them. I will cancel every VME all the time.
Does he not have a 6-check? Did he just look through there and he didn't have a 6-check?
Well, that's why we get to loot first.
Oh yeah, we can if we have one in our hand, we could just discard it.
Well, we can also build it from the. We have the takoyakis that we blew up.
Yeah.
We have a takoyaki in stage, so even at the absolute worst, we could blow up the one in stage, draw a new one, build that one.
The Colossal Detonation.
One of our blind momentum was our 12 diff.
I kind of wonder if Colossal Detonation should be a main board card. Or should it be like a 1x sideboard card? It's cute in Mimic. You're going to blow up all our foundations, but it really takes until like turn 4. I guess it's your deadlock card.
I mean, it's coming out, right? You got to think Marlowe's taking it out of this matchup.
Yeah, it's going to be the first thing sided out.
Okay, so Gavin has built a Takoyaki, blown up a Takoyaki, drawn some new cards. Barlow, VM'd it. We've now pitched some more 6 checks. We're drawing cards. I didn't catch what zone Barlow made it. Based on Gavin's life counter, looks like it's probably mid. We didn't cancel. What was that?
You think he's probably going to Cheerful Uppercut block it, right? If he's making it a mid. No, the Trigger Transformation. Trigger Transformation is another one of those attacks that I see a lot of Mimics like debating whether or not it should see play. Like, you read it and it's like, this should be like nuts. But then a lot of Mimics just choose entirely not to play it. Or they'll play 2 copies instead of 4 copies.
Yeah, Barlow is playing 2. And fun fact, Barlow is not playing Cheerful Uppercut. That's not his deck.
Oh, it's his side deck. Well, it's got to be in his side. Otherwise, he's in trouble.
He has 2 in his side, yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, he was definitely using those.
Okay, at what point here, as Gavin, do we just flip this pass through walls? Like we're letting Barlow dictate this turn with these VMEs. And I know he has a second one, so he could just do it again, but we would have gotten all his momentum on this attack.
Yeah, the pass through walls is hard to decide though, because like, you don't flip the VME. They just get to use it on their next thing. You cancel one instance of it, Cabin Hideout is interesting. Build something face down from your hand? Does it do something else?
I hate this card. I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan either. I'm wondering what it's doing here. Deadlock, look at the top card of your deck. I guess it's a 1 low block. I don't know. No. But it came in handy here. We VME'd it, and then we used it as 1 low block.
Sure. Feels like that could have been actually any card, but,
Yeah, this Kraken, we're really dedicating a lot to our string. I mean, it does feel nice to freeze 2 things, but we still have our trigger response too. We'd have to, I think this one's going to get blocked as well. We got to commit that VME first thing.
Yeah, if that's not our first enhance, we're playing with fire. What are we debating here? What are we even thinking about? Do we check an asset and have it use Mimic?
The Krakens here definitely don't feel nearly as good as they did against Godzilla. Because it's like, well, if you could freeze the assets, they would. But like, oh no, you froze my 2 foundations. I have trigger. And if I play a trigger transformation, I can discard a momentum to build a trigger. And he has Battle Arena.
Hey, Marlowe's my boy. I'm happy to be wrong if the Krakens aren't the deciding factor in this match.
Well, yeah, I mean, it made sense when you said it, but now that they're actually being played, it just doesn't feel as good. Maybe it's because Barlow did that double VME play.
And we're supposed to be unbiased, right? But this isn't an official stream, so I can be a little biased. I'm rooting for Barlow.
You were ready to put your money on Barlow yesterday.
Yeah, I still am. Uh,
Yeah, I had Barlow at 12-1 odds, and I had Gavin at 16-1 odds. None of my 8-1 odds players ended up making it to the finals. I think I had Sam there, but
you did put your brother at 8-1, and that feels like nepotism. So,
well, I put Sam. I think it was Sam, Marvin. No, it was Sam, George, and Patrick. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's not bad though. All of them finished top 8.
TC won one of the events. You didn't even put him at 8.
Hey, DC got like 15th at this event.
Well,
We streamed the one game, the one round he won. He's like, my deck was doing terribly, but y'all happened to stream my win.
I looked at his deck. I did love it. Not my favorite deck list I saw today. You're going to publish all the deck lists, you said?
Yeah, I'll make a full UVS Ultra folder with 1st to 16th.
Oh, yeah. I should have been in finals by the rules. Oh, Sam is saying that the disconnect, Sam. We didn't see it disconnect. Y'all were both good for us.
I know. I was talking to. That's why I've been a little quiet. I was messaging Sam. Yeah, look, it was a rough one. I didn't see the disconnect when I saw the message about it. I was looking at it and hands were moving. So, but I'm also super distracted. This is my first time streaming the big event, But we have a judge. We have a judge for a reason. When the judge got there, though, the freeze came off, and so it's hard to tell in like webcam like a disconnect from a free because hands freeze for like 1 second all the time, and then come back. But yeah, Sam might have a point there. That if we went back to round 1, maybe there should have been a game loss issued for the game 1. But at the same time, that's it's like Tam was saying earlier, like we're just the streamers, we got the judge there.
Webcam's rough, man. There is a reason I don't play webcam, and it's because every time I finish, I hate the game a little more. I signed up for the third one of these, the last one. I like paid my $15 or whatever, and then got to the night before, and I was like, you know what? I actually don't want to do this.
For which one?
Not the championship, obviously, but the last one.
Oh, you should have stayed.
Nah. I don't remember what I did, but I had a better day than I would have playing webcam.
What is it about webcam that you don't like?
None of it. I don't like any of it, actually. Every time I played a webcam tournament, I have hated the game a little more by the time I finished it.
I love webcam, but I'm also, I'm doing the webcam circuit. Yeah, you're not allowed to say bad things. We were in the finals here. We only can have good.
No, people are allowed to love webcam. Zach, don't like it. Yeah. I don't like playing it.
No, I much prefer playing in real life.
Watching it is a blast. Being on like the doing these 2 rounds with you has been a lot of fun. I wanted to do the EU stream, but obviously like that didn't happen. Okay, so Barlow's got a shocking entrance in the middle of its enhanced step.
Did you see what he picked up?
I sure didn't. I was joking with you. It has to be like a trigger or a cape, right? There's like no other things you would want to pick up, probably.
We have the triple trigger on Gavin's side.
Would you give up a walk the dog here to save 5 damage at 22?
It's hard. This just feels like a very even game. I mean, we can see there's hardly been any damage actually pushed through. The Mimics play a surprising amount of defense. No, I probably would have I probably keep the walk the dog, but no, actually, I block with it every time because Barlow only has 2 foundations.
He's got 3 total, right? 2 of them are already committed.
Okay, yeah, he's got the face down one. Yeah, but walk the dog just feels so bad against Mimic.
It's gonna be a 5 diff because that foundation's gonna get committed. We're gonna figure it out. He's gonna play a Kraken and committed at the very worst, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Dawson in chat says it's Mimic. You aren't really giving it up. You can get it back if you want it later. That's true. Like, Mimics do get the benefit of I can pick up an attack on offense and I can pick up an attack on defense. If I check the assets at the right times.
That's only true for your sculpting. It's not true for your critical massive attacks, right? If you need your 4, 5, 6 attack hand and you're giving up your attacks, that's just not true.
Right, and you need a 4, 5, 6 attack hand to break through these stages right now. Maybe not Gavin's as much as Barlow's, but if you want to break through Barlow's stage, yeah, you're going to need a serious attack string. And Mimics are typically playing low attack ratios. They're because of the pickup. So they're normally on like 25%. They're normally not like 33%, like most other Universes decks.
This is crazy. We're playing this on a 8. Oh, we have the. Never mind. We got a battle arena.
Yeah. When you have a battle arena, you just attack until the battle arena gets used. Yeah, the battle arenas and the triggers.
They're just all hidden down there in a pile of green.
And we haven't dealt damage yet. And we want to deal damage because the battle arena gets us. Oh, we did?
We did. The rapid speed / dealt 3.
Okay. I was going to say we really want the battle arena extra momentum because every attack that lands damage is another -3 speed on defense.
Oh, and I'm pretty sure he just did what I said he was going to do, and he ultra compressed weights his old determined advance. I don't know why, because there's not a cape on board, but maybe he's worried about a runaway. Or not a runaway, Genkai's Guidance. Because it's not open deck list. So maybe Gavin could have one.
Yeah, in theory. Still kind of an odd play, Tuvi.
Did we just dump our whole momentum into EX for this? Oh, we're going to make it lethal. We're going for the dub.
Can we get there? That's 4 damage from each of the VMEs. Yeah,
it's just this one. We still got a VME left for defense.
Well, nope. He's saying just full send it. It's game over. This is on to game 2. Wow, what a play by Barlow. That's why he dumped the weights into it. It's the last attack of the game.
Runaway?
On a 16? Check a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, we're 2 away. Wow. Okay. I guarantee you Barlow's heart skipped a beat when he checked the 6, though.
God, Determinative is such a good card. What is it? I own 4. What is this card at on TCG Player right now?
It's out of stock.
Good.
It's somewhere between. Yeah, the last 5 copies have either sold for $8 or $20. If I had a copy, I wouldn't sell it for less than $20. Just with how rare AOT1 ultra rares are.
Good thing I own 4, but.
Oh, you were just going to go buy the rest so that you could sell them to us at higher prices.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
they're like
called market
$5.
control, David.
I already checked TCG earlier today with the exact same thought.
I have a nice job and disposable income.
Okay, going to game two. I imagine the cheerful uppercuts might come in for Barlow. Um,
What's Gavin
looks
got on
like
his board?
looks like Gavin's citing 2, Barlow's citing 4.
So Gavin's got a cape in his board. He's got 2 cheerfuls in his board. Those that all feels pretty good. The rest of his board is Heat Rays, Force Quirk activations, Incredible Display, Chivalrous Thieves, and a Jaw Titan attacks. I don't see any of that coming in. So it's either going to be 2 cards or 3 cards, depending on if he wants the extra cape or just the cheerfuls. And then on Barlow's side, he's got 2 cheerfuls, 3 runaways. Those might come in. We saw Runaway do a lot of work for Sam. He's got 2 Krakens, which I thought was going to be the difference, but didn't look like it mattered as much. What do you think?
Yeah.
You think you're doing? You think you're doing 3 runaways to your cheerfuls if you're Barlow?
Yeah. Yeah, I think those are both pretty important against this City Rampage. Against the City Rampage deck. Yeah, the Krakens just ended up. I think it was only because of the double VME. Maybe it would have felt. They would have felt really good if Barlow didn't reach such a critical mass of good assets.
I
Just saw
can't
these
quite
mimic.
count how many cards Barlow has in his hand.
Yeah, the like Barlow's mimic. It's so capable of just playing control and blocking for forever. And then it's also so capable of just dumping its stage into damage.
I think I saw 3 cards, and I definitely see the runaways. So I think he might have left the cheerfuls at the side and only brought the runaways. Chat, I apologize if I sound nasally. I was fine earlier today, but my nose is now not functioning.
Yeah, we are Barlow is 1 game away from being the webcam circuit champion and having his wallet be $750 richer.
You're saying Barlow's 1 game away from buying dinner at Nat's, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, he's going to take us all out.
All right, Gavin's kicking us off. Soup. God, that card is so good. I think I've said it like 3 times in the stream already. We should not print things that clear themselves and build immediately in our
That's not a
characters.
clear. That's not a clear. It's a build.
That's the same thing.
Sasha would like to argue with you.
On a 6. Oh, we didn't get it. We tried.
Yeah. Is Gavin's luck running out? Double trigger though is pretty dang good first build.
Is this Chivalrous Thief from Gavin in the main? Or is this a sideboard card? Looks like this chivalrous thief in Gavin's stage came in from the side. So this is an interesting one. Um, David, are you familiar with this card? How much do you
Yeah,
remember this one?
it. My brother plays it, and he played a Sasha food fanatic, and the Sasha was like, "Okay, cool. I don't get to play my character. You just
Yeah,
discard all my momentum." That's,
yeah. It's a pretty
and
neat
it's
one.
gonna. I have to think that maybe it came from the sideboard because it's gonna be when
It
Barlow's
did. It's a
mimic
one
is.
X. It's a 1X in Gavin's sideboard.
Yeah, I mean, Barlow's really was depending on those VMEs in game one, and now Gavin has his answer on the stage.
Me and Barlow had the same idea. Hydrate.
Yeah, this feels like a turn. Oh my gosh, raw
Just
checks the
raw checks the
six.
6.
Andy has double trigger. This feels like the turn that Gavin can be played disrespectfully. Barlow has no momentum. He gets a little bit of damage reduction with Flask. Not a lot of defense on his board right now. If I'm Gavin, I'm playing every attack I have in my hand. let's try let's try and take Barlow to like 10 or less health early.
That's my objective in all of these chaos decks. Just put my opponent to single digits on turn 2, and then like determine advance. We'll just make it for lethal. I can't do anything about it. We'll just figure it out from there later.
Yeah, we can't even flask this advance. If we block it, it's going to be our one block of the turn. So yeah, he has to chooses to take it. Which also, since the determined advance snapped us some momentum, we could form with Chivalrous Thief. Like, if Barlow had 2 momentum, we could be using Chivalrous Thief right now.
Yeah.
He doesn't. Okay, so Barlow was thinking the same thing as me, that, hey, Gavin's going to go crazy, and then Gavin just plays the one attack and builds.
I mean, he gets a cape online. One of the best defensive pieces.
Yeah, that's the downside of, like, if you play a low attack ratio and you only draw 1 and you're a 6-hander, you're praying that you check an asset when you play your first attack. But, like, in this instance, he didn't check an asset till his 4th card, so it's too late to go attack now.
I mean, we still generated a lot of advantage out of this turn. We did 7 damage, got 2 momentum.
Yeah, it was. I think Barlow made the right decision by taking it, but looking back on it, you feel a little silly. Like, he could have had one less momentum. I could be at full health.
Oh, look, I could do that too. We'll both play determined advances. Barlow's will be for 8 instead of 7.
Except Gavin has cape. I don't think I would cape this one necessarily, but
Depending on it, look does Barlow has a Titan's Pursuit? That's the foundation next to Chivalrous down there.
yeah, Titan's Pursuit. So if something's blocked, he's gonna get another momentum.
Oh, which not like that matters.
He doesn't have VME yet. He needs to find like a shocking entrance, and
Well,
we'll
the
pick him up.
Chivalrous Thief just is going to take his momentum away anyway.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, Barlow's not gonna have momentum for the rest of the game.
Barlow's going to get to 3 momentum before he's allowed to have 1.
And yeah, I think that Chivalrous Thief might just end up being the deciding factor in this game. If Barlow's not allowed to have momentum, you probably give the edge to the City Rampage one.
Well, Gavin just ate it. We've now just traded determined advances. Chat. You can't buy them on TCG Player, but go to Rochester CCG or somewhere. Go to your local game store and ask them if they have Determined Advance, because card good. You need them.
Yeah, this is gonna send the price up for sure. Let's see if Rochester CCG has them. They don't. They're out of stock.
Sean might be just bringing them to South Carolina for the 3K next weekend. Just show up, hope.
This card might just not exist.
True. I've got 4 Attack on Titan Battle for Humanity packs sitting on my fireplace mantle. Maybe I'll just crack them open, see if we get lucky.
Yeah, I bought 4 of them pretty early because I was seriously considering Bertolt 1, and I figured it was his best card, so I bought them
I'm not
early,
sure.
pretty cheap.
I'm not sure why I bought them, but I own 4. So I built this Godzilla list and I was like, oh, there's no shot I own all of these Attack on Titan Ultra Rares. And then I went to build the deck and I was like, oh, I do. Never mind.
Determined Advance was a when I was doing my top 10 card video for AOT 1, I was thinking between like 6 cards for the number 10 spot, and I finally decided on Determined Advance to be number 10, but I thought I could just be horribly wrong. Maybe I'm overestimating this card. And for a little bit, it seemed like maybe that was the case. But this event has been the MVP.
I think it got a little better at AOT. It started to really shine at the end of the AOT 1 format, and then in AOT 2 really pushed it over the edge. Because now there are just 3 to 5 moves that require some weird condition to interact with, and that puts a lot of pressure on your opponent. And if you can combine them in multiples, you just generate a lot of advantage in the game. Got the VME. Not that it will matter. Oh, we're gonna have 3 momentum, so we get to have 1. We get 1 VME off. Oh,
Yeah, but
Chivalrous
that
Thief
means,
is frozen. We're gonna get it. We're gonna have 3 momentum for this turn.
yeah, very heads up play by Barlow to recognize that Chivalrous Thief and not pass through walls is our biggest, because it can be tempting to hit the pass through walls, especially when you're building a cape.
Crimson says, I think Gavin should have caped that advance. Maybe. It's tough. When you cape the first attack of the game, effectively, because Barlow didn't attack on turn 2, you're sending a message that you're terrified. That's not the message you want to send. David, it happened. He played a Kraken, didn't check a 3. The curse is broken.
It's here. Andy checked an asset. The perfect check. Picks up the Torment. That tells us we probably got some orange. I think Barlow is in some very real trouble this turn.
We didn't pick up another Kraken.
Yeah, because this Kraken's going to say, get rid of that cape. You're trying to hide it under that VME, but it's going down. No, he goes for the VME.
Oh, he just doesn't even care. Oh, Barlow, chat, get your votes in. Is Barlow just dead? The fact that we didn't commit the cape here makes me think Barlow might just already be dead, and he doesn't know it.
Yeah, because he's saying, I have a lot of attacks in hand. I'm going to pass him, thanks to the triggers and the blue flame. I think it's just a matter of time. Maybe Barlow can pull some magic here with a runaway and an uppercut or something. Oh, I know why he didn't hit the cape. He has pass-through walls. Commit the repeatable thing, and then pass through walls the cape.
Ah, fair.
Yeah, he's just totally safe.
I've been hyping up Pass Through Walls the whole time and just forgot about it.
So you were right about Kraken. Like, it didn't feel great game one, but now this is putting in a ton of work. I went to go buy XR Krakens for my retro Todoroki deck, and they're $35 a piece.
Oh yeah, I got one. I think.
Yeah,
I think I owed 4 Krakens, and one of them happens to be an XR.
I already paid like $100 XRing out everything else, like Ice Storms, Frigid Heat Waves, getting Alt Art Tongue Whips. So, like, well,
Nice.
Kraken, I'll just have to be happy. I'll have to be happy having a base version.
Oh, we got the 0 mid block here for this. We checked a 3 on it though, so we still have to commit out our foundations. I don't worry. I spent like $30 on female Titan attacks because I couldn't find mine, and then I realized where they were. So now I own 7.
Hey, I think that's a good card to own. Because Knockdown Blow, Female Titan, they're just going to get better if we keep getting this 4-check tribal. I hope that 4-check attacks are like never printed again outside of AOT. I hope it's an AOT Spotlight Deciduous mechanic.
That would be the dream. But we do have one more AOT set, so...
Yeah, that's my hope. Is like only that set has 4-checks. And then we're just done with the 4-check thing.
All right, so what do we get here? We got another Kraken. We don't get to freeze anything because Barlow heads up committed all of his foundations.
Yeah, he's got the one cape, which is cape. See, I would have just committed the cape and then saved your pass-through walls for... I don't know. I guess if you use the cape and you pass through walls, they have to pay the cost anyway and remove it. So that's what he's hoping.
Yeah, he just committed a flask to save the damage reduction.
But it also means that Gavin is like not allowed to commit his pass-through walls. If he hits the cape with Kraken, he's allowed to commit pass-through walls because the flask being available is not the end of the world.
Or Barlow's now at 10. You commit the pass-through walls and get the bait out. We just keep checking 6s. He is the chosen one.
Yeah, now this is the one we saw him pick up, so it depends on how much. So he drew double Kraken. Like, how angry of a hand did he draw? We know that these can get... Well, does he have assets to commit? He doesn't. He's already used the soup. So these aren't going to get to lethal. I wonder if Gavin has it or not. I could see a world in which he doesn't.
I mean, this is a 5 low for 7. If
he just needs Walk the Dog.
Yeah, I mean, Walk the Dog's lethal on its own, right? Barlow can't afford to pass this check.
I would be halfway tempted to go ahead and use the trigger response, but yeah, you probably can't.
Okay, yeah, so Barlow's going to do the thing he's forced to do, which is pop the cape, get it canceled. And now Barlow is just losing the game. It's over.
Yeah, to me, I don't think Barlow was allowed to do that because he has to keep the cape so he can commit it to pass a check.
I think he has to force it out, right? You have to just hope that Gavin doesn't have the follow-up attack to this.
Yeah, if there's no follow-up, it feels really good. I'll be shocked if there's no follow-up.
Or that you can block one of them. If it's not a Walk the Dog and you can block this one.
Yeah, I feel kind of like if there wasn't a follow-up, Gavin would have played the Blue Flame Torment second. and not third. I suppose there's a world in which you do want to go both Krakens first, finish Torment, but I think most players would probably go Kraken, Torment, Kraken. So I think there's definitely one more.
This is an interesting choice. So Barlow picked up a high block. Barlow's flashing the runaway. And he's got a low block in hand.
But if he checks a 3 on the runaway, okay, he can use the trigger. The trigger would help him pass it.
It doesn't. If there's a follow-up, he's still dead, though, right? Like, he's dead to a follow-up attack, basically, no matter what.
So he has to... Yeah. I mean, you're not allowed to run away this one because you're still dead to the follow-up.
I think you have to run away this one. Because if you take this one, you can't run away. Because this one's done.
Yeah. I think Barlow's just dead. I think he's dead if there's one more orange card. I don't think in any scenario Gavin has another attack Barlow lives. Unless he blocks. I think he has to block and not do the runaway. If he can block one, then he theoretically lives against like a Kraken or against a Torment. But he's not going to live against Walk the Dog.
What's the block on Shocky Entrance? It's a 2 low?
Yeah, 2 low. So he does decide to run away. In the end, it just depends on can Barlow block one attack. I don't think he can.
Okay. So here's Barlow's. He's going to respond trigger. Okay. So here's Barlow's play. You check the 5. That was step 1. If this is not Walk the Dog, Barlow is going to gain a life and give -1 damage to this next move.
That's true. It's true. He's at 5, so it'd be like pseudo 7.
He's gonna go to 6.
But this gets there, I think. This is gonna be 6, 7, 8, 8. He gets to go up to 6, and then this is 7. It's lethal by 1.
Okay. Yep. Oh, and he's got the basic trading too to make it 9.
Unless Gavin capes his own attack.
Well, okay.
Yeah, we got to full block this. He said he picked up a high block. Even if we have a 0, if we have like a...
He has a 2 low in hand that I saw.
Yeah, so that means that... And this has EX3. Yeah, it's over. There we see the EX3 coming in just for safety, and that should be a scoop into game 3. I don't think there's possibly anything.
Yeah.
Unless Barlow plays like a action that game 3 no.
Yeah. First enhanced wound restore, gain 5.
So that sends us to game 3. It's not many times that you play a game of Universes with $250 on the line, but that's what we're going to have with game 3. The difference between 500 and 750.
Now, David, tell us about how many times you've played a game of Universes with $250 on the line.
I've played a game for $100. And Justin might not admit it, but he was scared that game won. And I would have won if I didn't misplay. I could see the fear in his eyes.
Justin is such a trash talker mid-game.
He was going silent there for a little bit. I could see the gears working that he was about to lose $100 to me. And then I just misplayed myself.
Crimson Nanashi in chat says Blitz also should have stopped with AOT. Boy, do I not want to have this debate again.
You like Blitz?
I don't. It's fine. It's whatever. There are things I like about it. There's things I don't like about it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I don't really care. It gives offense a slight edge, and AOT is like an all offense, no defense set.
Now, you know what I do hate?
What's that?
Pile shuffling.
You're not a fan?
It's not shuffling.
That's how I always shuffled my Pokemon cards.
This is counting.
Well, let's see if he does normal shuffling.
Well, if he doesn't, Peyton needs to step in because this is not shuffling.
All right, is that shuffling?
That is shuffling. He's fine.
You had me worried for a little bit. I was like, he better shuffle those cards.
And anybody who thinks pile shuffling is shuffling, you can at me wherever you would like. I will argue until neither of us have breath. You should not be allowed to pile shuffle except for at the beginning of a match to count your cards and make sure you have the right number. Anything else is either cheating or wasting time.
I'll tell you what. So my brother and I, when we started playing Universes, we had never played. So you've been playing card games since you're 7, right? Like you said, or
Yeah.
you were playing Magic since you were 7. So you might have it like a. I think that might be where that like comes from because Patrick and I just started playing competitive card games with Universes. We played Pokemon as like kids when we never knew the rules. We threw away all of our energy cards and we just played with the we never played with trainer cards and we just played with the Pokemon. And nobody knew how to play, but we made it work. So this was like our first game experience. And we were doing all sorts of things that are bad etiquette today. Like Patrick had someone say that he was cheating at nationals. First of all, he was like, they're playing in like they're both like 3 and 4 or something. Like this game does not matter. It doesn't even matter for top 64. And they're playing and he accidentally had some cards facing one way and some cards another way. And the player like thought he was cheating. And I don't know, called the judge on him or something. But like that's something that like we would never have even thought about. But you know, from a hardcore card game player, it's like, yeah you got to have all your cards facing the same direction.
Yeah. Okay, I'm getting added in a private Discord and in chat, so I'm going off. We're doing it. David, you pay attention to the game. I'm educating chat on shuffling. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
If you pile count your deck, because I'm not calling it shuffling. If you pile count your deck in any way, it is just sorting or counting. If you do not, that is not randomizing your deck. If you do not then shuffle your deck, you have not randomized your deck. If after you pile count your deck, you then shuffle your deck, the pile counting you did not do anything. If you are sufficiently randomizing your deck such that it is actually random, the pile did nothing. And if it did, you're cheating because your deck isn't random.
I agree with you. I'm just saying that as a first time competitive card game player, I wouldn't think of that.
Yeah, you're
and
either
then what
cheating
ends up
or slow
happening
playing.
is
Those are the only two choices.
I know, but then what ends up happening is you're a beginner card game player. You're going to your first big tournament. You're doing pretty well, having a good time, and you pile shuffle. Someone calls a judge. You get in big trouble, and then all of a sudden you have a terrible time.
No one's actually ever going to call a judge on you for it because it's so common that like card gamers do it because it's superstitious. Like, I don't want my cards to clump together. I think that is just false. It's not false. Go read a math book. I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah. Either way, though, I think it's probably kosher to if you pile shuffle, you do the random shuffles after, which Gavin did.
I get it
Um,
if you don't shuffle afterwards. If you shuffle afterwards, your deck is randomized, and therefore the piling didn't do anything. It's random. If it was random, what did the pile do?
true. If it was random, what did the pile do? But here we got a swarm by Titans. This is something we did not see
Hell
before.
yeah, we love this. I love this card.
I don't know if it's a sideboard card or if it's in his
It's
main,
a
but now
it's a 1x in his deck.
okay. Yeah, that makes sense. It's really hard to find room for it in the over other attacks in Mimic. But it feels really good as a follow-up to Determined because +2 to the next check, he picked up another Determined. So now he can play the other Determined on a 6, and then he's going to get another momentum. He could have like 5 momentum by the end of this turn.
Okay, Crimson Nanashi. If you are doing pile shuffling to break up the same types of cards from being stuck together, you are cheating. I don't know. There is no.
Oh,
other
but come
way
on. But think about. But consider this. Consider this. Consider this. I hate how Universes says in the rules that when you mulligan, you have to put your cards on the bottom of the deck. Because if I'm mulliganing, I had a very attack heavy hand, and now I'm putting them all glooped together on the bottom.
Shuffle your deck, David.
I hate how you have to put it on the
random.
bottom. I know, but I wish you could put them in, make sure they're separated,
It's random.
But then people see you putting your cards in your deck at intervals, and then that looks suspicious.
I think you guys just don't know how to shuffle, actually.
It is unique shuffling these with the card sleeves because with playing cards, I'm just doing the bridge shuffle every time and bending the crap out of them.
Hey, I'm not going to hate on anybody who pile counts to make sure you have the right number of cards. That stuff is all fine. Don't take my comments as you're never allowed to count your deck. But don't pretend that it's shuffling. Is all I'm saying.
It's a pretty high IQ play here from Barlow. We did the Swarm by Titans. We picked up a Determined Advance. We could have played that Determined Advance, but because Gavin did not, because Gavin has Cape, I think, and so, I guess he didn't see the reason in playing the Determined Advance with Gavin having a Cape. I guess, hey, you got through Cape. Could be a reason. But, Gavin's not playing Shocking Entrance to consistently find it. That's one of the downsides of playing City Rampage is all these awesome 4-diffs like Shocking Entrance, Dangerous Gambit. You don't get to play in Mimic. You do still get to play Trigger Transformation.
Gavin's doing a build here.
Vamoria, you have to swap.
I'm not getting stun locked by chat about this shuffling thing anymore. I'm done. We're over it.
I think you already got stun locked.
Yeah, they're still talking about it, and I'm done. Moving on.
Gavin just having a build turn here. The initiative is definitely with Barlow at the moment. Gavin's already all the way down to 12. Our VME is committed. We don't have any momentum for it anyway. We pick up a Determined Advance. That feels like I just want to pick up a one mid block.
Yeah. I saw you pick up one, so I'm going to block yours with mine. Or I'm at full health and you're at. No, I'm at. Gavin's at half health?
Yeah, Gavin's at half.
Rough. Yeah, we're blocking Barlow's Determined Advance.
Yeah, that's why we have to pull it up, but it's going to be a block on a 7. It's going to cost us a lot of resources, and then we can cape something else. We can probably block one more thing. I still think if Barlow rips a hot hand here, it's going to be hard to live. I think part of what Mimic really has going.
Oh yeah, we're a genius. Barlow is the best.
What did he do?
It's so over.
What did he pick
He
up?
he ultra compressed weights this determined advance. He's going to EX it to the moon.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be lethal, huh?
I don't know if he has enough to get it to lethal because he only has one soup for damage pump.
I
So
think
it's
we've just
eight.
learned that ultra compressed waste is like a very good asset to be playing right now. And it's one of those things you put it in your deck to play defense, and then you just happen to be playing against a Cape of No Return deck, and you're like, hey, this thing still not blank. And it's just nice to pair with Kraken, since it's freezing something if you deal damage.
Oh, he didn't send it fully to the moon. He made it 8 speed, 9 speed. Oh, he didn't EX it at all. He just easily excited it twice to make it 8 speed.
So he still could.
It looks like he's passed. He's put his hands down.
I think he's just counting. He's counting if it's unblockable or not. It's hard. It's hard with Mimic to like, because he breaks the rules on assets. Like it's hard to do the math on how defensive their stage really is. And I think Mimic benefits a lot from people underestimating his defense, committing out to attack him, not being able to kill him, and then he just easy gets a backswing.
Fair.
So
Oh, and he doesn't have to send it. Well, he doesn't. So he picked up a rapid speed slash. So I'm wondering if his plan is to send a bunch of moves that are too fast.
But the downside is to spreading it out is that he's going to have Cape for future attacks. It's only for this attack he can't use Cape.
Yeah, but he also has -5. Like its damage can't go below 6, right? But Gavin's at 12, and
I think it might be that 14 is just the number that it needs to be unblockable. So if he blocks, we know he has a 1 mid block, so he'll block on a 15. Checks a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 14 is the unblockable number. I think this is game.
yeah, Omega Fudge, you could look at your momentum. That's a rule they changed like a little while ago.
Never mind, it's not game. He just went down to 1.
Yeah,
How did I not see that?
It was never. He has Takayaki and Knots Flask. It was never for. It could never be for lethal.
I thought it was lethal. I was doing that whole math, and then they had already passed me. He just used the ultra compressed weights because it's my only attack of the turn. I'm going to build another one anyway.
Omega Fuzz, the looking at momentum rule changed a year ago ish.
Did he pick up this shocking entrance just now off of one of these?
That's no. Pretty interesting. He picked up rapid speed slash on the first attack, unless I like totally missed something.
I guess he just realized like rapid speed slash is not going to win me the game, but he needed one more attack to get through the cape, and then he happens to get the thing. But I mean, one of them could be blocked. Basically, he's saying you have. Oh, since he caped this, he can EX3 the speed slash, but he probably can't get it to 1 damage. Yeah. Well, Soup changes that. Yeah. Soup changes the equation. That's an extra 3 damage, and the 3 check changes it again. Well, we commit all our foundations to it.
Yeah. I mean, if we think we just have it, right? Because this could snap a momentum, so we could EX. Rapid speed size has EX3, right? So it's 10 speed?
Yeah, I think. So the speed is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have to get something to 11 speed, I think, to be unblockable by the determined advance. Or 12 speed. We have to get something to 12 speed to be unblockable by determined.
Well, no, he needs a low block.
That's right.
The Viennese.
Yeah, you're right.
Viennese committed.
Yeah. You're right.
He went to 1.
Yeah, he went. So can he reduce it to 0 damage, right? Like he could have if the soup wasn't there, but now I don't think he can.
No, he can, because Knott's Flask is -4.
And we've already used the soup. Yeah, it's going to take another one. I don't think Barlow has another one. I think he was hoping that soup got him there.
Why would Barlow play it, though? Barlow could have done that math.
Oh, he's gambling. Is he going to get a 5? Sam couldn't do it.
Oh,
Let's see if Barlow can do it.
Oh,
Gavin has plot armor. This is Sam and Barlow being a 5 check away from winning. But now Gavin has to deal 25. Gavin can't keep getting away with it.
He's got 3 foundations, a battle arena, 1. The juke out, build soup.
What soup is so good at too is giving Mimic an additional chance to check an attack before playing. I mean, an asset. So This soup not only builds straight down, but he's grabbing his best attack before he even decides on his first one. Yeah, Barlow's Mimic. He could struggling with studies a runaway back to his hand, which could be something pretty cool.
If he's got it. He's got 1 card. It has to be exactly the runaway. Barlow, do us a homie. Flash your hand.
Yeah, the runaway. I think he's safe. Unless Gavin just puts his second attack, right? Because if he runs away, he cannot run away from this first one. If you run away from this first one, it gives Gavin the ability to make the second attack lethal, because Barlow would have no cards in hand unless he checks an asset.
True. Yeah.
Because if he runs away, he's down to 19 health. Gavin can add 3, 6, 10, 15. He can add 15 damage. So he's going to put this one up a little bit to try and...
Oh, Andrew Porat is in chat pointing out that Gavin has incredible display and a momentum. So,
okay.
Barlow is probably just dead if Gavin has a third attack in addition to the torment we saw him pick up. And he's not slamming them, which does not... Okay, never mind. He's dead. It's over.
Yeah. We still have the torment.
We got the battle arena going to come in here in addition to the trigger response.
I mean, what more can you ask? Sam was a 5 check away from winning on his turn. Barlow's a 5 check away for winning on his turn. I think you know what happened to Barlow? He was too timid with that check. You know, putting it down, face down, and then taking a peek before the audience sees. He was too timid with it. And the lack of confidence, and I think it was a foundation, but it sensed the lack of confidence and it morphed.
He's been watching too much Tim Keefe. Andrew, these games make me sad because they're so interactive. Did you play Smiling Titan in Atlanta? Get out of here.
They're pretty. They're interactive in that the first thing you do is take away all your opponent's interaction. I ultra compressed weight so you cannot cape. I play Kraken so I take down your asset. Like, they're playing cards specifically to take away the interaction.
Barlow is rubbing his hands, hoping that there's just not enough attacks for him to be dead. That
And
does.
and there was, I mean, Barlow chose this path, right? He was looking for another attack to see if he could get through the
Yeah.
cape. He played the ultra compressed weights, clogging his own card pool, and then chose to still go. He could have just built
Oh,
out and had a pretty healthy stage.
it's just over? Is he just hoping to block this and that there's not another one? Barlow seems to think he has a block for this if he's rubbing his hands like this.
He has that cabin hideout, one low block.
I swear to God, if Cabin Hideout wins Barlow this game,
He's got double trigger, so that's like 2 ready foundations in effect. So, I mean, this is going to be 5 speed if he blocks the cabin hideouts on his 6, even if he checks the 3's okay. I mean, Barlow should not pass this check. Yeah.
yeah, because you can't survive another one anyway, right? So you just let him
Yeah.
have the bonus in the check.
Yeah, you might as well. I mean, you're playing a game of, hey, that's the card you picked up. Did you draw 3 attacks? Or is this your last gasp? Torments typically are the penultimate attack, not the finisher, though.
I lead with my torments.
Yeah,
On
they're
an
a starter.
8, we got to check a 5 here. Barlow, don't do it again, brother. 5,
Oh,
6,
he
7,
did it.
commit mimic.
Does Gavin show it? Can he even pass it?
He's got +2 to the check. On an 8 with +2 to the check, he checks a 5, 6, 7, 8. It is lethal. That is it.
And
Gavin wins.
completely tapped out.
Yeah, they're sitting
That's
here,
it.
but that's
Yeah.
it.
Gavin
Doesn't get the extra damage because Mimic is committed by the time. Yeah, virtual handshakes. There it is. It's over.
Yep, it's over. Gavin Kale will be your 2024 Webcam Circuit World Champion, walking away with $750. Taking it over Barlow here. Barlow took game 1. Everything looked in his favor. The critics will say he kind of threw that last game. But that wouldn't be me. I mean, he saw a line, he took the line. If he didn't check literally 2 straight 3s on those attacks, he wins. If either of those checks is a 5, he's okay.
The real men of genius will say that the 4X main deck Krakens won the match.
Yeah, they did end up coming in. All right, let me change my scene here. I'm gonna put us back on.
Are you gonna try to do an interview, or we just gonna slide off?
Yeah. Let me bring on Gavin real quick. You okay?
Yeah, I'm down. You got a 3-person overlay easily available?
Yeah. I just have to do this. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to duplicate the current scene. I'm going to make us tiny. And then we can fit in a Gavin here. Wait, what the heck? Oh, I made it tall, not long. Okay. These are just for prettiness. There. Now I'm going to duplicate yours. We now have 2 Zachs.
The world can only handle so much of me.
Yeah, this is like a nightmare scenario here. We got to change this color to something else. That one's not pretty. That one's not nice. That one's too pink, too bold. Okay, there we go.
Gotta finish this up, get some dinner, and then get to Marvel Rivals gaming.
Marvel Rivals? What is that?
It's the new Marvel hero shooter. It's like Overwatch, but with Marvel characters.
Huh.
I'm very bad at hero shooters, so.
I'm going to bring in Gavin here and have him and chat with them. Here, let me go to my direct messages with Gavin from when we did our interview. So stay with us. He'll be here soon if he wants to. Here he is. Yeah, he's Team Lechuga. So I guess Lechuga makes it. And Gavin, by the way, he went 4-1 in the first webcam event. Oh, here, he's calling in. All right. We'll bring him in. There he is. Gavin, you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Hello.
All right, you are live. Hey, yeah. So this event, you went 4-1, lost in top 8 in the first webcam circuit event. You went like 4-1, lost in top 8 in the second webcam event. You could not play in the third webcam event, and that resulted in you not qualifying for this event. You technically did not qualify, and Tim Keefe had to go and do something else, give up his spot, so you got to get in, and then you won the whole thing. You're like Nick Reagan last year in Real Worlds, where you didn't qualify, but you get in and then you crush the event. Shout out.
I couldn't do this without you, Tim Keefe. I couldn't do it without you.
You gotta buy it when you go to like nationals or something. You gotta like buy him dinner or something. You gotta like. Or buy him a drink.
We already talk a little bit. Like, I'm the biggest like Chronostasis fan, so we talk a little bit about stuff like that. I asked him what he was playing if he was in, and kind of learned like what I would play because of that.
Yeah. Well, this Mimic, it's not your like. You were playing. Who did you play before? You played not a City Rampage, not right. And you played, who'd you play in the first events? Rodan?
Rodan all, yeah.
Rodan and all. How did you decide on Mimic? How much practicing did you do ahead of this?
So, I've played Mimic before. I played him the first webcam event that Undaunted Raid was legal. We pulled the 4 triggers and the trigger transformations, and I was like, this character is sick, so I'm going to test it. We tested Chaos, we tested Earth, we tested Evil, just like game after game after game. And back then I settled with Earth because of like Hardened Chop, Hardened Jab, and it was just like a deck where I could go to 10 foundations and like 16 assets and nobody was ever killing me. That kind of bit me in the rear at the end because I didn't top. I got like 18th place because of a tie in the last round. That was very unfortunate. But so I have practice with Mimic. It's been a long time since I've touched him. But now that Soup is out, I was like, wait a minute, this card is like just insane. I'm a Rampage fiend, so that felt natural. I didn't like Rampage Mimic before Soup because I feel like you aren't a 7-hander for your builds, you are for your attacking, but Soup can kind of make you a 7-hander for your builds by on your attack turn, if you draw Soup, you just build it halfway through, and now you've got an extra foundation as if you were a 7-hander. So almost all the time, he is a 7-hander for the purposes of Rampage. Everywhere except for seeing the Rampage, which in my last like 3 matches, the amount of times I saw Rampage were so low. Um,
Yeah,
but
you
it
were
felt
almost
very
never
good
finding
too.
it
Like,
there.
yeah, and like being forced to block with it a lot. But it is a 1 mid, so that's unbelievable. But yeah, there's it's good to know that the deck can function very well even without the Rampage, just because if you test your opponent's like ability to block, like hold cards in hand, then you just hit them with like 10 damage, 10 damage, 10 damage, 10 damage. You can't block all of them.
Yeah, and the other thing is
Um,
that Soup kind of unlocked is that it gives you a chance, like you used it on that last turn, it gives you a chance to check an asset before you even play your first attack. So,
yeah,
typically a Mimic in the past, you have to play an attack. If you don't check an asset, you don't get anything. Or you might be playing a suboptimal starter, and
yeah,
then you check an asset. It's like, dang, I wish I led with this. But Soup gives you that chance. And if you're playing a 50% asset, that's a pretty good chance.
yeah. I'm at 33%, like or close to it in the deck. Like 33% attack, 33% foundation, 33% asset, and then the 4 copies of Rampage. So
That's
yeah,
a higher attack ratio than the other mimics this tournament. I assume you're doing that because you're a rampage deck.
yeah, I definitely felt that. Like the game one, we Barlow and I played the very first round. I built 2 against him, and because like the attack ratio is really high, including the rampages, you lose out on like the massive build that Mimic can potentially do with Soup.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you just open Soup and a million things, like you only really get to do that whenever you go second, unless you draw like the most ridiculous hand. But I still think Rampage is just so nuts. Like those times where like I win the game because my deck plays a bunch of good attacks. It's true, but like if I had Rampage, it would never be a question. Like Rampage is
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous. The fact that you can like not even commit foundations to play Rampage, you can just respond with trigger and add to the check is just so good for Rampage.
All right. I got a couple more questions for you, but Zach, do you have a question?
No, you think he covered a lot of the stuff I would ask. As I was watching your matches, I was just really impressed with the way the deck functioned. Going into the day, I had asked myself like, why would I want to be Mimic instead of Godzilla? But you throughout the day, the decks answered that question for me.
Yeah, it's the defense. Like Godzilla says the free +3 damage, but I am like, okay, here's damage reduction. And sure, he does have 9 more health, but if you want to take the game even longer and play a longer game, then he can and have effectively more health than Godzilla.
Yep.
So who did you lose to during Swiss?
It was Barlow.
Oh, you lost to Barlow during Swiss, and this was a revenge game.
Yes. Yeah. I won the die roll, and he pulled it out game 3. I even won that game where I built 2, so it was crazy. But yeah, he pulls it out game 3, and then here I lose the die roll and I pull it out game 3, or he had the higher seed. So
Yeah,
yeah, I had to pay him back for that.
game three versus both Sam in semis and against Barlow in this. Both games they were on a check A5. I win the game. Um, and both games they checked a 3. Any
Yeah.
advice as to how you made that happen? How did you
So
work? How did
I don't check fives. I check sixes. That's where the difference maker is. You
Yeah,
check
but
the sixes and
get
not the fives.
how did you get your rivals to check the 3? Is there anything
Oh,
superstitious that you do before a
um,
something happening is like that? Do you like tap the table twice or something?
I just like when I cut their deck through the internet, I make sure to stack it.
Smart. Smart.
That's the key, really. Just the magic
Yeah.
sauce.
And
Do
I
you
mean,
think
there's plenty. It's just part of the game. There's been plenty of times where I miss like an entire event's top cut off of one
Mhm.
bad check in the last game, and it's just kind of something you live with. You got to think back and like the rest of the turn, what if you just checked a 3 there instead? It's really not all up to the last check. It's up to the rest of the turn, unless you're really pushing your luck and like just checking a 5, checking a 5, checking a 5, and then being like, okay, if I win this, then I get it.
That's true. When you look back at the totality of the games, it's typically not just a one check
Yeah.
that made the difference, but it can be tempting. It's like a football game when like a ref makes a call at the end and everybody wants to argue about it. It's like that one call probably didn't decide the whole thing. So after this event, what card were you most impressed with in your list? What do you think the MVP was? And then what is a change that you would make to your list? What card was the least valuable card in your deck?
Those are all so tough. Like this deck is so full of like cracked cards. Like I could give you 3 best is Trigger, Vast Hybrid, Chimera Kraken, and oh my god, even that's hard. Like Soup. Those are the 3 best. The underperformer. I was only playing 1 Heat Ray today. I was playing 2 more in the side if I played against Recovery Girl. But I figured Heat Ray is not super good against like Burt 2. Like you deal the damage, the 3 damage or 2 damage after he damage reduces a bunch. And then flip 2 of his foundations. A lot of the times that'll just be like 1 card because he already flips his stage a bunch. So Heat Ray didn't put in much work today, but again, if I go against the Recovery Girls, I'm just like, yeah, that Heat Ray is ridiculous.
Zach doesn't like hearing that as the Recovery Girl player.
We played at Atlanta, and he discovered Heat Ray because of me.
It is true. Yeah.
Y'all played in Atlanta?
Yeah, it was like round 4 or 4, I think.
Yeah, he showed me the true power of. I wanted the 7-handers. I matched into 2 all day and lost to one of them.
Yeah.
What were you playing in Atlanta?
Recovery Girl, and he was playing Dot.
Oh, okay. So you were still on a City Ramp. You were on a City Rampage deck.
Yeah, and I think I was playing like either 2 or 3 Heat Ray then, and that's a card where like if they have something you really care about on the stage, you get to flip 2 of them when you deal damage. But if they don't, you just don't use the response. And then if they build anything, then you respond and flip the thing that they built. And it's just like you keep going and hit them for free. It's so good.
Well, you gonna play this at Nationals? You going to
I don't know about
Nationals?
this. I'm definitely going to Nats. Me and Team Lechuga. As many as possible from our locals, we can get to Nats. I think everybody has their invite except for one person. But even then, that person might also go. We might have a big team. I don't know if it'll be Mimic, mainly because I'm a weird person. Like I want to play something that's not like the most obvious meta thing. And like I didn't know that other people were on Mimic before this, so it doesn't feel that bad to have played it. But I was legit considering playing Eraserhead 2, like, for this event. Because, like, the Water Rampage package in him is so dope. So, who knows what happens at Nats? That's a long time away. And, solo leveling could be cracked. Who knows?
I know.
Solo leveling has
Zach
Solo leveling has the all symbol, and that's, like, my favorite symbol. So, if it's cracked, maybe we do some all symbol stuff.
Your all Rodan might be happy.
Yeah. All Eraserhead 2 could be crazy.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love Eraserhead too. If that character makes a comeback, I'll be a happy person.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks that it's just going to rotate before anybody else really puts up results with him, but he's super cracked, and I wish more people would give him a chance for sure.
Well,
if you got a good deck list, send it to me. I already have my World's Invite. I got nothing to lose at Nats.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I've got Water Rampage, Low Tribal. You're going to be like, it's going to be blowing people's minds for sure.
Well, now that I know I'm going to hold my low blocks if I go against
Well,
water eraser.
and then you
head
block
too.
everything, and I'm like, I'll draw a card, I'll draw a card, I'll draw a card. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Eraserhead does benefit off the blocks.
Yeah.
Any shout outs you want to give before we jump off?
Team Lechuga, everybody at locals. I think one of the questions you asked that I like glanced over because I talked for so long was how much have I tested him? I literally just played in my locals and won it, and I was like really nervous about like Ymir. So Andrew Marquez, he's part of my locals, Team Lechuga, the one that topped Atlanta. I beat him in the finals, and I was like, that's all I really needed. Like the deck is good. So Team Lechuga, everybody there. Tim Keefe for letting me slide in here instead of him. That's pretty much it. The Mighty Meeple, the other store that I go to occasionally, shout them out. I don't think they have the team name. It's just Meeple, but them too for sure.
I like to play some Carcassonne. That's the only place I know the word meeple from. But and then one last thing. What are you going to spend your money on?
Oh, probably Nat's hotel and plane ticket, something like that. Sounds like a smart investment.
All right. Yeah, we're not giving you money. We're giving you a travel voucher. That's what this is.
So it's like $1,000 instead of $750. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Yeah, hotel. That makes sense. And then you can bring the whole team, and they can just sleep on the floor. You can take the king size bed.
Yeah. Anybody that is like not sure about going, I'm like, I can at least like cover you a little bit. Everybody's going. Trying to make this the biggest Nats ever. If it was the biggest last year, just make it bigger and bigger. I only brought one person from locals last year, and this time it'll be like 5 or 6. So that should be good. We need everybody to do that and have a 2,000 man locals easy or nationals.
Yeah. 2,000 man locals. That's where we're going someday.
That'd be good.
The whole city's going to want to go.
2045. Let's go. That's our long plan.
They see the vision. They have the vision. We just experience it. Well, that was awesome. I'm going to go eat and rest. And it's like 7 o'clock over here. That was 9 straight hours of me being on the camera. We got some good.
This is the first time I didn't feel like my brain function like dissipate throughout the day. Like I was still like chilling in the last round, thank goodness. But like,
Hey, that's the benefit of playing a City Rampage deck. Me play City Rampage. Me play all attacks. And,
you have no idea, dude. The Chaos Knot deck, it was like average round time was like 25 minutes. Like that's the average. Like crazy.
Yeah, I remember Nationals, my first year I was playing Nomu, Tetsu Thrashing Nomu. I beat somebody. Our round was done in like 8 minutes. I just 2-0'd him in like 8 minutes. It was like, I have 52 minutes to do something.
It'd be like that.
Those ones feel good. So when people say the game is speeding up now, sometimes it's like, well, the game's always been there's always been those characters that play the game fast.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be it for us. I'll let you go. Have a great night. That's it for the 2024 webcam circuit. 2025 webcam circuit details will be announced soon. I'm changing my mind on the details every single day. 4 events, 6 events, 8 events. How big are the events? If you have any ideas, message me and let me know. But keep an eye out for 2025. Let's try and make it bigger and better than 2024. And I'll see you there.
Thanks for everything you do, David. Thanks for having me. It's been a blast.
Yeah. Thanks, Zach.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining the stream.
Congratulations, Gavin.
Appreciate it.